on the pleasant banks of Lee. No bird that in the greenwood sung was half so blithe and free. My heart there beats with flying feet, no love sing me his queen. Till down the glen old Sarsfield's men coming wore the jackets green. Young Donald sat on his gallant grey, like a king on a royal seat, and my heart leapt out on his regal way to worship at his feet. Oh love, had you come in those colours dressed, and would the soldiers mean? I'd have laid my head on your throbbing breast for the sake of your jacket green.
Well, no hoarded wealth did my love own, the good sword that he bore, but I loved him for himself alone and the colours that he wore. For had he come in England's red to make me England's queen, I would rove the high green hills instead for the sake of the Irish green.
When William was stormed with shot and shell at the walls of Garryowen, in the breach of death my Donald fell, and his sleeves near the treaty stone. That breach the foeman never crossed, while he swung his broadsword keen. But I do not weep my darling lost, for he fell in his jacket green.
When Sarsfield sailed away I wept as I heard the wild call. I fell then dead as a man who slept in the fields of Garryowen, while Ireland held my Donald West. No wild sea rolled between, till I would fold him to my breast on wilderness Irish green.
My soul has sobbed like waves of woe that shattered tombstone brave, for I buried me heart in his grave below, for his and for Ireland's sake. And I cry, make way for the soldier's bride in your halls of death, sad queen, for I long to rest by my pool of sight and wrapped in the folds of green.
And I saw the Shannon's purple tide go by the Irish town, as I stood in the breach by young Donald's side when England's flag went down. And now it lowers when I see the sky, a blood-red curse between. I weep, but it is not to woman's sighs, nor razor Irish green.
Oh, Ireland, says thy lonely soul, and land beats the winter sea. But sadder and higher the wild waves roll, o'er hearts that break for thee. Yet grief shall come to our heartless foes, and the bones in the dust be seen. So Irish maids love none but those who wear the jackets green.
You're listening to the Rebel Rebel podcast with Rory Carson. Tasha Vigeshtak, leis an fod Curly Rebel Rebel, le Rory McCarson.
Well, how's all doing there, folks? Welcome along another Rebel Sundays on the Rebel Rebel podcast. And it's finally here, folks. The foodie is back, as Marty just said, after a good few months out. And I say the thought of not having any bloody Champions League qualifiers to play in July or early August is just phenomenal. See, heading off to these bloody countries in the arsehole of nowhere on a bloody like Tuesday, Wednesday night, and then obviously start the season off playing every Sunday. Nightmare. So we're in the group stages, and that's what's all good about it. So happy days. Yeah, folks, welcome along. As usual, I'll actually get all the housekeeping on the way first. If you're watching on Facebook, please share the stream for me. We'll have the main man today on the show today, Derek Warfield, folks. Going to be a great interview, so we want to have this shared as many times as possible, get as many people as possible listening to the show. So the match isn't kicking off, I think it's 4:30, so we'll have the whole show today to look forward to without being interrupted by the game being on and stuff, whatever, and the goals, whatever. So yeah, but again, what whose ever idea this was to start the bloody season off, basically the champions playing on the Sunday at 4:30. Literally, the season started yesterday, so it did. With basically the Emmons playing at 12 o'clock. Whenever the flag is unfurled, that is when the season should kick off. That should basically signify the season has started. This is bullshit. Like, again, probably TV companies and whatever is dictating kick-off times and when the matches are played. But listen, we're starting off anyway, folks, today at home to Aberdeen, so looking forward to it. Yeah, so if you're watching on Facebook, folks, please share the stream to any groups you have. Share it to your family and friends, whatever. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just copy and paste the links you can and send it on to any of your social media sites. Again, welcome to our Twitter followers. We're always looking to up the feed of the Twitter followership. So if you're watching on Twitter, folks, today, please just hit a wee retweet and we'll get it around the World Wide Web and get it shared. So, folks, yes, today is this very, very special day. Easter Sunday last year, we had this great man. I'll just put the wee flyer on the screen here now while we're talking about it. We had Derek on the show, so we did, and it was a phenomenal interview. I actually just sat and I listened to it again the other day. So I did I was driving back from Dundalk in the lorry, and I put it on, and that was back in the days when we were doing a 4-hour show. So it was when it was long enough, but great interview, folks. So today's interview with Derek is going to be, obviously we've covered all the Wolf Tone stuff and all that there in the early days of the young Wolf Tones in the last interview. So if you want to go back and watch that one, it's still there on my YouTube channel, folks. You just have to flick through. But I actually shared it the other day on Facebook, the link to it. So if you want to go on to my official podcast Facebook page and just scroll back a few days, you will see the link to Derek's interview on Easter Sunday 2021. And I just realised as well, literally, he cut off midway through it, which I think it was an internet problem. We got him back, and then near the end, I built up to the whole question asking about their version of the Foggy Dew, and then literally he buggered off. I don't know if he dropped out or whatever, or he just went on, and I didn't get the answer to the question. So I'll maybe ask him again today. So I will, but really looking forward to having Derek Warfield and the folks on the show. We're going to be playing 3 songs from the Young Wolf Tones new EP, maybe one of the newer song and 2 other songs that have been on previous albums. So yeah, folks, Derek is going to be on live here for us at about 2:15. So make sure you share, folks, and let everybody know that Derek is going to be on the show today. Right, so we'll get a few shout outs first, as usual. See, we'll have all listening. Mara Burns up first. How you doing, Mara? Watching on YouTube today. Harley Townsend is watching. Jim McCaff watching on YouTube. Ronan McDonald up there in Derry. Free Derry, what's the crack? Mate, I seen a photograph I think Potters put last night outside Waterloo Street. It must have been about 11 o'clock and the place was buzzing. Looked absolutely class. So I'd just love to be up there on a weekend, like in the evening time. Looked absolutely brilliant with it. Joseph McGill today watching on YouTube. How you doing, Joseph? Lanky 67. Only 3.5 hours to go and it's party time. Hail. Mick McAdam today listening all the way to Paradise. Let's see. Neil Costigan today. Good morning, Ro, from Cornwall in upstate New York this week. Oh, you're branching out, are you, mate? But again, cheers for tuning in super early. It's much appreciated. There's the man, Marty Heaney. What is the crack? And while we'll have Marty on here, I just want to get this wee up out of the way. Well, not out of the way. just while I have it on the screen here. So yesterday, Marty and Elaine celebrated their wedding anniversary. So big congratulations to Marty and Elaine, who celebrated their wedding anniversary yesterday. Two lovebirds and probably two of the ones that have been with us from the very, very start. So big congratulations to Marty and Elaine on your wedding anniversary yesterday. There you go. Well done, guys. Fair play to you. Happy anniversary from everybody here on the podcast. Right, see Marty there. Back to a few other ones. Let's see who else we have. Catherine Brown is watching today on Facebook. What's this? Jerome McDee's. Only chance of you playing back home in Derry in memory and volunteer Seamus Bradley, whose anniversary is today. Yes, we'll definitely get that on. So we'll. Hugh McKenna, you back home from Santa Ponsa. Hugo, what's the crack? Back home here in rainy, pissy, bloody Ireland. What's the crack? Paddy Dobbin is watching today on Facebook. Shout out to my friends. Steve, who's over in Berlin. Well, you were over in Derry this past week, weren't you, Steve? How'd you go on? What's the crack? Paul Walsh, listening today all the way from County sunny Cork. Hail, come on the Celtic. There's the man, Steph McNally. What is the crack? No more Tom Radjic. Who's my favourite player now? Juranovic. Well, here I tell you what. I think Ralston will be pushing very, very hard to keep Juranovic out of the team this year. Tony O'Callaghan, hi, from Glasgow, Macara, Lockgall Martyrs. Marty says, yeah, brilliant turnout for Belfast Parade yesterday. Fantastic day. Were you down at it? Yeah, obviously I put a few videos up, folks. We brought Josie down and Maeve as well. Obviously for the first time for them to see the parade. And listen, phenomenal. I think it took an hour for the parade to get past us. And I think we were starting just beside down Royal Avenue or something over. Yeah, it took an hour for the parade to get past us. Phenomenal. Loads of amount of floats. All the political parties are obviously, well, Sinn Féin, SDLP, Alliance, people for profit as well. But obviously you wouldn't be expecting any of the unionist parties now. I know I think last year Doug Beattie was there, but he wasn't. I didn't see him this year, so I didn't. But yeah, phenomenal, folks, and just shows you the support that obviously the LGBT community have in Belfast. I think it was announced it was the biggest and best parade ever. So fair play to us all. I'll definitely be back with the kids again next year. Carlan McCrory, how doing Carlan? Afternoon, everyone from Glasgow. Right, so we'll go to the first tune today. So we'll get this done, and then we'll do a few more shout-outs. There's loads more people listening in. So as it is Flag Day, folks, or say Flag Day, we're going to do this here one first. A bit of Tony Boy Ray from his brand new album. And I need to find it. I think this maybe this year might have been recorded in Caesars. I'm not sure. But I seen this here wee picture this morning. So big shout out to Paradise Plex. I know it has their sort of watermark on the picture, but I wanted to just do this song. So folks, the season officially kicks off today for us home against Aberdeen. So there's no better song to play than this here one from Tony Boy Ray, putting on a show, and the Celtic song live in Glasgow, folks.
Glasgow Celtic, putting on a show. Oh, everywhere we go, watching Glasgow Celtic, putting on a show. Oh, everywhere we go, watching Glasgow Celtic, putting on a show. Oh, everywhere we go, watching Glasgow Celtic, putting on a show. Oh, everywhere we go, watching Glasgow Celtic, putting on a show. We got a banner, he's on the way. We got Kyogo leading Spain, and he's a leader, we're following Celtic all over the world. We got a banner, he's on the way. We got Kyogo doing his thing. And there's a leader for the Celtic all over the world. And it's a hail, hail, the Celts are here. What the hell do we care? What the hell do we care? Hail, hail, the Celts are here. What the hell do we care now? But it's a grand old team to play for. It's a grand old team to see. And if you know yesterday, it's enough to make your hearts grow. Fuck the new code, we don't care what the animals say. What the hell do we care? For we only know that there's gonna be a show, and the Glasgow Celtic will be there. For we're the best damn team in Scotland, and the players all around. We support the Celtic as they are the finest in the land. We love them, we'll be there to give the boys a cheer when the league flag flies and the cheers are up. When we know the Scottish Cup is coming home, rest in paradise. But it's a grand old team to play for. It's a grand old team to see. And if you know a history, it's enough to make our hearts grow. Fuck the new code, we don't care what the animals say. What the hell do we care? For we only know that there's gonna be a show, and the Glasgow Celtic will be there. And the Glasgow Celtic will be there. What a fucking time!
There we go. Saying the brilliant Tony Boy Ray live in Glasgow, folks. I need to find out exactly where that album was recorded, but it's a great bit of work. So it's a fair play, Tony Boy. Just a shame we can't get him on the show, because I did reach out to him there a few weeks ago, and basically he knows about the show and all, whatever. He just said he doesn't do this kind of stuff, and he's a bit shy, whatever. I don't know about here, but listen, he won't be coming on. But he did say, listen, thanks very much for sharing his stuff and playing on the show, folks. I just apologise for my look today. I know I usually say it here all the time, but literally I've been asking Laura to cut my hair for the last week, and it hasn't been done. I really should have shaved this morning, but you know what the crack is when you have kids in the house, stuff to do. I was working last night as well, so I'm probably more for like a radio look than actually having a camera on me, so I don't look like it's here. But sure, that's a bit of crack on me. And here I've just been dropped a bombshell as well, folks, when I come in here, and it's quite annoyed me. So it has. So I plug in like the lead from the top here right into the router, so I get a better internet signal. And it's in my dad's room, so it is, where the router is. So I plug it in, and he usually always laying there sleeping in the morning like when, because he's been working early morning, whatever. And so I'm sort of creeping about and all, whatever, and trying to plug this thing in, whatever. And he says, "Do me a favour." I was like, "What?" Obviously laying there sleeping. He said, "Please do not sing over any of the songs, will you?" And I was like, "What? Can you hear me?" He says, "Yes, and you're tone deaf, so you are." And he obviously then started mimicking me trying to sing over the top of some song, and I actually thought I was a good singer, so I did, but obviously I'm not. So if my dad can hear me in the room across the hall with the door closed and whatever, and probably over the top of a monitor speaker as well, I'm tone deaf, so that's what I've just been told. So cheers, Dave, out there, much appreciated. Right, back into a few comments. Let's see. You're a minger, I know, mate. Anthony Murphy today is hail you from Banton and Scarborough. Good luck today to the boys. James Dab McClave, who's over in Santa Ponza. What is the crack, James? Fair play to you, mate. Cheers for tuning in today. I seen the picture you put up this morning of wee Shay. Is sunbathing, and he's literally laying with a thick blanket over him or a towel. Obviously hiding in the shade. That's normally the way I am. When I'm out on holiday, I'm usually hiding under a canopy or something, so I just cannot do the sun. I'll jump in there to the water, back out again, but I burn, so I just don't do the sun. So I hope you have a good week over there in Santa Ponza, mate. Tell Joey we said hi if you're in bar 67, mate. Paddy Dobbins, he says, I brought it to Mexican USA, Paddy's whiskey, told them they always have a battle. Ray Callahan, watching on YouTube, afternoon knowing all down in the caravan this weekend. Weather is not the best. Mate, listen, well, you know what the crack is like, well, caravan, there's no better feeling when even if it's raining and you're just laying there or sitting in the caravan and the rain is beating off the roof. There's just something really special about it, isn't there? Like, Joseph McGoy says, looking forward to the match. Big happy birthday to my nephew Callum, 18 today. Jesus be 18 again. Kingston boy, Hill Row Flag Day, love it indeed. Bernard O'Rafferty. I've ever heard an Irish name, that's it. Bernard O'Rafferty. You can just picture Bernard has shamrocks growing out of his hair for her with a name like that there. Bernard O'Rafferty up north from Armagh. Good man yourself. James McMullins, what's the name? Hill. Jim McCaff, Burning Tune, Goosebumps. Let's see. I'm just looking at a few more comments. Hugh McKenna. Yes, Hugh, I had this here lined up anyway and go do it later on. It is Kevin Lynch's anniversary tomorrow, so it is. And good luck to the Kevin Lynch Memorial Flute Band, who are having their usual anniversary this weekend. So they had a few events on Friday night. They had Kevin O'Driscoll playing last night for them. So they'll be having their parade around Dungiven today, done it many times with the flute band, so it did. And I think Stefan and Pierce Whitehouse is playing for them this afternoon sometime. So any as are there at their gig, it'll be a good gig, so fair play to you as well. And again, well done to the Kevin Lynch flute band who are celebrating the band's anniversary this weekend there in Dungiven. Right. So, how you doing, Tara? Wee Duck, what is the crack? Rowan McDonald says, yeah, it was a great night in Pat O'Donnell's. Tommy Quigley was on then Dougie Breslin was on, dragging myself home. I'm sure you did, mate. I'm sure you need encouragement to drag yourself home. Ro, it was our 6th wedding anniversary yesterday. Please play Spanish Lady for my Irish lady. Right, okay. For today, as Derek is on the show, now that's not going to be one of the songs we're playing as part of the set for him, but we will play it, so we'll, especially for your own Spanish lady from West Belfast on your anniversary yesterday. Right, Edward Strain, hello from Bells Hill, Ben. Right, so who was looking for, let's see, for Back Home in Derry? I'm trying to find it. I'm going to play it here now. But somebody had requested earlier on there. Right, here we go. So yes, for Jerome, so was looking for Back Home in Derry in memory of volunteer Seamus Bradley, whose anniversary it is today. So if we're going to play Back Home in Derry, we'll have to do it from somebody from Derry with a bit of a Derry twang. A Derry one, as they say. So this is our Krista Coyle from her album From the Streets of Free Derry. It's a great song written by Bobby Sands in the Hits Blocks. Obviously got out, and Christy Moore probably made it as famous as it is. Every Rebel band, every Rebel singer have covered this tune. So this is a memory of volunteer Seamus Bradley, whose anniversary is today. This is Krista Coyle, folks, on Rebel Sundays with Back Home in Derry.
Australia bound if we didn't all drown, and the marks of our fetters we carry. In the rusty iron chain we sighed for waves, our good women we left in sorrow. As the mainsails unfurled and the curses we hurled on the English and thought of tomorrow.
I wish I was back.
There we go. Sort of our Krista Coyle there, folks, with Back Home in Derry from her album From the Streets of Free Derry, folks. This is Rebel Sundays here on the Rebel podcast with myself, Big Row, here at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So just a wee heads up for you, folks, about August over the next lot of weeks. So obviously the podcast isn't going to be as normal as we sort of all know it, right? So next week, so you have a heads up here. Next week, folks, there's no show at all next Sunday. It's actually, we're having a street party on our street. It's the first one we've done for all the kids. So obviously your boy here has been pretty nominated to do all the music and stuff and run around like a blue arse fly, whatever. So big up to Laura and all the rest of the mummies in the street who've organised this here next Sunday. So it's going to be happening all day. So that's why I won't be here next Sunday, folks. So hope you'll forgive me. So the following week, the 14th, then we're going to be doing the live podcasts. We are live from McEnany's. Here's the flyer here for it. Live from outside McEnany's, folks, on the Falls Road. It's the big pre-Wolftones gig. So I'll be playing outside McEnany's from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I'll have the whole thing live like we did last year. So if any are down, jump back down again. It's more like a bit of a gathering spot, so it is for everybody before they head to the concert, before they had the Fela. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a bit mad at the start. People were dancing on the roundabouts in the middle of the road and all. A few people near got knocked down by a bus. But it was all good. We got a few barriers out eventually and then sort of got it all sorted. So hopefully I think the bar know the crack for this one. They're going to have it all sort of sealed off. So if anyone want to come along, folks, come on ahead. The show will be all live, basically from 1 to 5. And we'll have a set of Wolftones tickets as well. The raffle off that day. So if you haven't got tickets for that yet, come down. Also today, folks, on the show, we're going to be giving away another set of tickets for the Wolftones on the 14th of August in the Falls Park. So anybody that hasn't got tickets yet, to say these things are like gold dust. It's been well sold out. So we'll have another 2 pairs tickets to give away. So in the following week, we're going to be another live outside broadcast. We are, or live in-house broadcast here, live from the Derry City Sports and Social Club from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. We'll have 2 very special guests. We'll see. 1.5 Derry one, so we'll have Ron McDonald, who is 100% a Derry one, and he's assured me he'll be giving me a history lesson on the whole music of Derry and stuff in that hour. We'll have him, and then as well, good friend of mine, another fellow West Belfastian that did this a few years ago, the head of Derry, Barry Davey, is going to be joining me as well as another sort of guest host as such. And Barry will be picking a few of his favourite songs to play during the show, and that there also is on from 12 to 2. This all kicks off, folks, before this here gig here. So I'll just get rid of this wee banner here so you can see the bottom of it. Yep, so from 3 o'clock onwards, folks, here in the Derry City Sports and Social Club. Great day in association with Saoirse Promotions. Headline is going to be Glasnevin, Kelly's Men, then Pierce Whitehouse, Ricky Nixon, Barry Davey, and myself, Rowe. I'll be playing a few tunes throughout the day, and I say I'll be going live at some stage. So today, folks, well, I have 4 tickets for this gig to give away today during the show. So I'll have 2 sets of 2 to give away for it. So it's going to be a great gig, folks. So if anyone's up in Derry that weekend, call in. It's going to be a brilliant day. We're going to be doing the show live. So the show live first from 12 till 2. Right, here we go. And then, so if anyone's in the bars will be open from about 12 o'clock onwards. So you can pop in, say hello while we're doing the show. We'll get a request in, get any videos or photographs if you want. And then all kicks off at 3 o'clock, folks, with this here. It's only £10 admission. For this lineup, it's just absolutely phenomenal, folks. £10 for this here. Glasnevin, Kelly's Men, Pierce Whitehouse, Ricky Nixon, Barry Davey, and myself, Big Row, for a tenner, folks, all day from 3 o'clock right through till whatever time it's finished at. So I'd say I'll be starting off proceedings about 3, and then playing a few tunes in between each band is on, and then probably finishing off the night as well, I would say. But yeah, it's going to be a great day in Derry, folks. So we're going to have 4 tickets for that there to give away today. So we are. And then obviously we'll have two passes as well to give away for the Wolftones at the Falls Park later on. So we'll get into that there. Right, so this is Rebel Sundays, folks. Very, very welcome along. Loads of shares happening today. So thank you very, very much. Let's see, we'll just jump into a few more comments. I'm not entering the comp today. Marty says, your Dax near got me cooped. Do you mean grouped or cooped? Cooped last year. Well, hopefully this year we'll have a nice few barriers. Marty, if you come down, we can get a few nice buyers about, and you'll be safe behind the buyers. We just need somebody to who's this here for our baby? Happy 39th birthday. Don't forget to wish our baby a happy 39th birthday. Our baby. Who's our baby? Is it Aaron's birthday today, is it? When's his birthday? See, other than my own birthday and our Anya's, because we're so close together, I do not know anybody else in my family's birthday, so I have to say I'm ashamed of that there. So I'll have to go and look at the calendar in my ma's kitchen, because she has everybody's birthday down there, so she does. Marty Kane says, Ro, any chance of playing... Hold on a second, let's push this through here. Any chance of playing... Come Out to Black and Tans by Chris Carney. I'm going to be playing Derek's version of Come Out to Black and Tans before he starts. So obviously, so I don't want to do that there one there, but I will definitely look. See that there one from Marty Higgins. What do you call that in his album? His album, Marty, because it's not there. What it's not called One Sunday Morning. It's something else in it. I think it's often right. I call it One Sunday Morning. So if it's something else on Marty's album, now you know what it is. You had said to me before. So you had So right now, folks, obviously it is. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Kevin Lynch from Dungiven, one of the Hunger Strikers. Also, as Marty pointed out as well, on Tuesday is Kieran Doherty's anniversary. So we're going to play Kieran's song as well. And I say good luck, all the guys riding this weekend for as they always do. And we'll mention that later on when we're playing the song for Kieran's anniversary. So up first, we're going to play the ballad Kevin Lynch, folks. This is from Clover's album, No Criminal in Me. So this is Peter on the lyrics this time, so a great version of this song. Song originally written by Glass Nevin. Kieran and Connor are going to be playing in Derry here at this gig in a couple of weeks' time, so looking forward to seeing the lads. So here we go. This is folks on Kevin Lynch's anniversary tomorrow, and again big shout out to the Kevin Lynch Memorial Flute Band, who are going to be celebrating this weekend as they do the whole weekend of events on for Kevin's anniversary. So fair play to the lads. This is the ballad of Kevin Lynch from Clover, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
Kevin Lynch is my name. From Derry I came to a gold age block cell. My country free I long to see, an end to this grey hell. 5 years I faced my fear. We went on hunger's strike. We took on the British Empire with their soldiers, guns, their might. Sands and hues we could not lose. We had the upper hand. Thatcher would not leave us. All she wanted was our land. Died side by side on the 21st of May. I knew that then I must join in to see Ireland free one day. As I stare out of my prison cell, I often wondered so, if I will ever be a free man or feel the summer wind blow. Now my time, it has come. I know I cannot return to my friends and the comrades I love, to my dear old Derry home. With Kieran Doherty next to me, I will not die alone. Over too much long I lasted strong. My body will not give in. Strength that keeps me living on, the spirit that lives within. That is why we must fight on, for a freedom we must win.
Yeah, folks, on a Clover there, folks, from their album No Criminal in Me, at the sound of Kevin Lynch is my name. Song originally written by Glass Nevin or Kieran Connor. Great song. So yeah, Kevin Lynch's anniversary is tomorrow, folks. So it is 41 years. And also say today, coming up Tuesday, is going to be Kieran Doherty's anniversary. So we're going to be playing Kieran's song as well at some stage of the day. So folks, yeah, numbers are great today. So I'm just watching here on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Great numbers. So cheers to you all. Obviously, we're saying James, Devin McClave and his family's over in Tenerife. Lanzarote. Because I'm heading to Tenerife in October. I have Tenerife in the bloody brain. I just need a bloody holiday. So yeah, he sent us this picture in all the clan. There's wee Shay looking cool as always, and James and his missus. So fair play to you. Really, I'd say they're bar 67 in Lanzarote. Hope you have a good week. Hope the weather's good for you. Would absolutely love to be on holiday right now. I just need a holiday this year, folks. So yeah, cannot wait. So just bear in mind. So Halloween week, folks, there probably won't be no show because we're going to be over in Tenerife. Cannot wait. I just need this so bloody much. So not jealous at all of any of the rest of you that are over on holiday. Right, folks, any more requests? Say we're going to have Derek on the show today, live on screen. Obviously, the last interview I had with Derek was on Easter Sunday last year, and obviously it was audio only, so it was. I had a few maybe connections problems, so hopefully we'll have him on today on StreamYard on the screen. He's going to be live from his home. We're going to hopefully the connection is a wee bit better, so it is. Right, well, let's see. Right, so I Love Cats says, can you play Tipperary So Far Away? Tipperary So Far Away. ADHD Gamer 4K. Hope you're good, Ro. Fly the Flag. Joseph McGoy. Them young country ones were dancing in the street last year. Watch it. Them buses. They're mad. So it was all the buses that dropped them off. And obviously they're well rid off before they even get out the Oslick. But here they definitely made the day of some crack. So they did. I played about 6 or 7 country songs last year. They were all loving it. So they were Kieran Kesfriel. Good morning from Canada today. Dan Breen. What's the day? Hail mate. Good afternoon. Yes, it's Ronan's birthday today. Is it today? See, there you go. I didn't even know my own brother's birthday, so I didn't. I'm very sorry, Ronan, but I think he's actually come up here later on, probably to get his card off my ma. So I'll have to wish him happy. Maybe get him in if he's here, and we'll get him on the screen. So yes, happy birthday to the brother Ronan. I did not know, but see, I'm a really bad brother, aren't I? So it's called the Bold Orange Man. Right, Marty, no problem. I'll get that on for you. Happy days. Kay Ura, hi, how you doing, Kay? Joseph McGuy says, tune, I will personally never forget what these men done, and it will always be past every generation. Oh, definitely. Kieran Mack, score predictions for the match, mate. Listen, see again, I have been to like 3 Aberdeen matches, so I have, I think the last 2 matches I was at Celtic Park were against Aberdeen, and they were both a dire 0-0 draw. So they were, and then the other match I went to against Aberdeen was actually when Craig Bellamy was playing, and he scored an absolute screamer that day. So we did at Celtic Park. I can vividly remember because it was Craig, but he actually ripped the collar off his shirt. So he did, because obviously it was too tight on his fat neck or whatever it was. But he had no collar on it. That was when we had the curling one with the wee bit of a fold over. So it was. But yeah, he scored a crack that day against Aberdeen. But score prediction today, I'm going to go out there and say 2-0. And say Rio Tate and Giacomakis. So I'm going to say Giacomakis and Rio Tate 2-0, folks, the Celtic. It says, John by McElhenney, any chance of anything from David Ravik? Seen him last week in the Squirrel Bar, absolutely brilliant. I know David's back and farting about Europe again. He was actually playing Belfast last week. I think he's playing at the American Bar, or the Sunflower Bar it was, but obviously it was a school night, so it was, so I couldn't get there, so I couldn't. John Costello, how you doing, John? Happy birthday, Ro, from San Diego. It's not my birthday, so it isn't. It's my brother Ronan's birthday. Some people call him Ro as well for some reason. Ray says, I'll be on Bar 67 in 4 weeks. Good man yourself. Clover saying they're going to be in Lanzarote from the September 2nd for anyone joining us. 1-0 Celtic. Here, how did you get on yesterday? West Brom, was it, did it finish 1-1 or something, was it, James? Right, so folks, people send me music all the time. Like people I guess singers or sort of rebel singers are just maybe starting out in the scene or whatever, or so there's a guy from Dublin called Graham Keatings. He's been sent me sort of tunes over the last year or so. He'll always send me, he'll record some maybe videos on YouTube and put from his kitchen or something, whatever, or actually nothing too serious, but the guy's very, very talented singer and guitar player, so he is. So he's done a version there a while ago of Wally and Danny. So obviously you all know Wally and Danny is my favourite song, so I would have a great interest in it. And he said, look what I think of this here, mate. So I had to listen to the RDS. Listen, I'm definitely going to play this this week for you, mate, definitely on the show. I say, he was talking about, don't forget to drop a tenner into your brother's card. He was saying about going up to Styx' studio and recording an album in Strabane. So I don't know what they're happening at yet, but so I did say to Graham, listen, look, whenever you do that there, I will definitely play it on the show, so I'll maybe get him on for an interview. So I say, this is a version that Graham done of Wally and Danny. It's from his kitchen, and this here voice reminds me very much of Damien Dempsey, so it does, it's just really raw Dublin, you know, when you listen to this here. So this is an up-and-coming, I don't know how long actually Graham's been playing for. Maybe not nice to say up and coming, but he is doing a lot of songs in the rebel scene. So he is, and hopefully, you know, we might see him on one of the bars out and about very soon. So this is Graham Keating, folks, from Dublin. They say it's just a version of this here song he done in his kitchen, and he sent it on to me. So it's no production quality. It's nothing. It's just busy the phone picking him up. So it's Graham with the Ball of Wally and Danny, folks, on Rebel Sundays. So have a wee listen to this here. Let me know what you think.
Tried to sing some songs of glory, sing some songs of peace, but in the end, it's the same old story. The road is so hard to reach. People tell me they're sick and they're Twitter, seeing this place run down. So I say, take up blindfolds off, you hypocrites, and help get us off this ground. Please say it isn't so. Willie and Daddy had to go. The reason's very clear. They're laying down their lowest bars year after year. 70 shots between their bodies. Not one of those bullets missed. For every trigger that was pulled that morning, a volunteer wouldn't list. For 5 long hours, they left them lying there. The priest was torn away, and so another step low for those SAS bastards. We'll never forget that day. Please say it isn't so. Willie and Danny had to go. The reason's very clear. They're laying down their lowest bars year after year. The funerals were to prove their worthiness. Thousands strong that street, and as those bastard boys hover helplessly overhead, their eyes came out to salute. They emptied their magazines over each coffin. The finally the crowd was set, and so another day dawns, and the guns will be out again. 'Cause Willie and Danny had found. Please say it isn't so. Willie and Danny had to go. The reason's very clear. They're laying down their lowest bars year at the end, please say it isn't so. Willie and Danny had to go. The reason's very clear. They're laying on the Louis Pubs year after year. Please say it isn't so.
There you go, folks. It's a guy called Graham Keatons from Dublin. It says like a real raw, to me, Damien Dempsey sort of sound from him. So that was his version of Willie and Danny that he sent me, that he put on YouTube a while ago. So fair play, Graham, mate. Looking forward to hearing more stuff from you. Hopefully you do get up the sticks or whatever and get a few tunes recorded properly in the studio. Yeah, folks, so this is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast. That's the stuff going on here about, let's see. So Dan's heading off. You're going to watch the match, mate. Listen, you watch the match. Watch the show tomorrow. He'll mate. Come on, Hoops, definitely enjoy the game today, mate. Let's see. Joseph says the rule in our house was if you're under 15, you got a tenner. Over that, you got 20 quid. 20 quid? Who can afford to get somebody 20 quid these days? Let's see. The wee Bobby of the house should be getting at least get £100 from all the older siblings. Yeah, that's going to happen. So it is. Anthony is saying, yep, he's confident of a 4-win Celtic. Celtic will piss it, no bother. Mate, listen, don't be getting too sort of count your chickens today, mate. I know it's the first game of the season. Martin, you put a fiver and the rest makes it up. Good thinking. Definitely. Right, so say, folks, another, we're going to have Derek live on the show we're going to have Derek Warfield live on the show, on the screen, at between 2:15 and 2:20. As normal, so you know what we'll do. We'll play one song, then we'll get the guest on. We'll have a bit of an interview. We'll have a break from the interview, play another song from the album. Then we'll finish the interview off, and then we'll get another song from the album to play out. So Derek is going to be on, folks, about 2:15. So, right, so obviously Marty says earlier on, going to play us here song for obviously him and Elaine. Well, Elaine is Spanish lady. Well, Spanish West Belfast lady, so it is. I do really love this song. It's not Republican, it's more Irish folky. I actually seen a video on, I think it was TikTok or some Facebook a while ago of a guy singing this here in a bus, a Dublin bus, so it was. And everybody was clapping their hands and all. So he was playing the guitar, and I think somebody else was playing a banjo beside him. And it was brilliant. And like, just a raw Dublin voice singing the song. It was class, so it was. But this is a version. This is actually on Derek's new album. So it is Let the Free Birds Fly. So say, this isn't going to be part of the set I'm doing while Derek's on, but I say this is from a previously released song as a single, but it's on the new album, on the new EP. So I suppose it fits in well with today's show. So here we go. So for Elaine and Marley, who was celebrating their 6th wedding anniversary yesterday, we'll do this for you. This is especially for you. So this is Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones with an absolutely phenomenal version of this song, I have to say. And again, Damaris, like so many songs that they do on the banjo on it, just makes this song. It's phenomenal. So this is Derek Warfield, folks, on the Young Wolf Tones. Well, we really trad fiddly do this one today. This is the Spanish Lady.
As I rode out to Dublin City at the hour of 12 of the night, we should have seen but the Spanish lady washing her feet by candlelight. First she washed them, then she dried them over a fire of amber coals. In all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet about the souls. Back for the tour-a-lura-laddie, back for the tour-a-lura-lay, back for the tour-a-lura-laddie, back for the tour-a-lura-lay. He stopped to look, but the watchman saw me and he said, "Young fella, the night is late. Along with your home, or I'll wrestle you straight way through the bridewell gate." I blew a kiss to the Spanish lady, hot as the fire of amber coals. In all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet about the souls. Back for the tour-a-lura-laddie, back for the tour-a-lura-lay, back for the tooralooraladdie, what for the tooralooralay. She's no much for a pebble squaddy with her ivory comb and her mantle fine. She make a wife for the provost marshal, drunk on brandy or claret wine. I got a look from the Spanish lady, hot as the fire of amber coals, and all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet about the soul. Whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooralooralay, whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooralooralay. As I went down to Dublin city as the hour of dawn was o'er, wishing to see but the Spanish lady, I was weary and footsore. First she coaxed me, then she chid me, and she laughed at my sad plight. And all my life I ne'er did see a maid so sweet as on that night. Whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooralooralay, whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooralooralay. South through Stony Batter and Patrick's Close, up and around by the Gloucester Diamond and home by Napper's Andy's house. Old age has laid her hand on me, cold as a fire of a she-coal. But where is the lovely Spanish lady, neat and sweet about the soul? Whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooralooralay, whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooralooraladdie, whack for the tooral, whack for the tooral, whack for the tooralooraladdie.
There we go. It's especially for Elaine and Marty. Well, more Elaine, who we were celebrating their wedding anniversary yesterday. So there's the Spanish lady, folks. You can see this on the screen here now. The new album, it's actually available, I think, on vinyl as well. I only found this out the other night when I was watching their live stream. So it's available on vinyl, but it is available to download, folks, on like Apple Music and Spotify. I've been playing it from Spotify, so it's great. So it is, it's a great platform to be getting all this new music from. So you can see that there's the Derek Warfield and the Young Tones with their new EP, folks, called Let the Free Birds Fly. So we're going to be playing 3 songs from the new album/EP in the next 10 or 15 minutes while we'll have Derek on the show. And obviously we'll be talking a bit about the new album and just catching up on what has been happening with Derek and the band over the last year or so since we had him on the show. So what are we going to do next? We'll go do a song. Somebody had asked me for a Tipperary song earlier on there. I think I just said, can you play a Tipperary song? That's what it looked like in the comments, I think, anyway. Let's see, just jump back into the comments here and see. Marty says, thank you. Jim McCaff says, right up my alley, tune class. Heard them on Thursday night. Yes, I was watching myself there more. It was a great show. They done a live stream from the cottage bar, was it? The cottage restaurant. Marty says, yeah, I'll be wearing Derek's new album. Well, Rue might get won the raffle. I'm a cert to win. Yeah, well, Damaris did say she's going to send me a copy of it. So if she does, I will certainly raffle it off. I'll not raffle it. I'll give it away on the show because obviously I play most of the stuff I can see off Spotify. So I do always give any of the albums away. People send me through. Ray Callahan says, going to see Derek next Friday in the Cottage Inn, Bluebell. It'll be a homecoming gig for him. There we go. Right, so what we're going to do next, we're going to do a song that is on my album, folks. Rebs for Hope. Great song from a Tipperary band, the Rebel Hearts. This is Galty Mountain Boy. I heard actually somebody else singing this the other night. Somebody shared a video of it, of another band singing it, and it sort of that's what went into my head. But I always love playing songs that from the album that ones I picked and people donated for me for this album. So this is folks, the Rebel Hearts from County Tipperary. Great version of this song. I know a few people have heard sort of a couple of versions of late, and it was more livelier, and it was sort of split opinions. People were going, no, this if you ever listen to the Rebel Hearts version, that is the way this song's be played. Just sort of low and sort of slow and dignified. Nothing sort of too mad when you think about the story, what the song's about. So here we go. This is Rebel Hearts, folks, and Rebel Sundays with the Galtee Mountain Boy. I think what we're going to do is we'll go with the first Derek song possibly after this one, then we'll hopefully get him on the screen. Fingers crossed. No sort of pickups today like our last few guests have had trying to log in. Here we go.
I joined the flying column in 1916 in Cork with Sean Moylan, Tipperary with Dan Green, arrested by Free Staters and sentenced for to die. Oh, farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. We went across the valleys, over the hilltops green, where we met with Dilly Lacey, Sean Hogan and Dan Breen, Sean Moylan and his gallant band. Oh, they kept the flag flying high. Oh, farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. We trekked the Dublin mountains, we were rebels on the run. Though hunted night and morning, we were outlaws but free men. We trekked the Wicklow mountains as the sun was shining high. Oh, farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. To the Galtee Mountains that oft time sheltered me, to the men who fought for our liberty and they died without a sigh. May their cause be not forgotten, said the Galtee Mountain Boy.
Yeah, so the Rebel Hearts are of you folks with the Galtee Mountain Boy. That's a song featured on my album that was done for the suicide awareness here in Belfast. Rebs for Hope. Phenomenal version there. Cheers to the lads. Potty, all the rest of the boys from the Rebel Hearts. Right, just a few more wee comments. Anthony Murphy says, Ro, what channel is the game on? This first stack has gone down. Is it worth going out? Well, the match is on Sky Sports Main Event and Sky Sports Football from 3:30. So the match starts at 4:30, I think, and the coverage starts at 3:30. Obviously, we're going to be having the Flag Day plus for a bit of the Green Brigade and all. They're going to do a massive stadium tifo all around the whole stadium. So that'll be really nice to see a video out there. Hopefully, Sky Sports show it. So there's going to be a full stadium tifo for the whole ground, folks, before the match kicks off. So for a bit of everybody who donated there for the GoFundMe for that there, I'm sure it'll be fantastic looking. So it will. Let's see. Harry T says, do we get to see Derek soon? So Derek is going to be on about 2:15. So calm yourself down, mate. Did you only come to see Derek Warfield? Like, come on. No, Derek will be on the show, folks, about 2:15. So don't worry, he's not running late or anything. That's what that's what Tim told him to log on to the software at. So we're going to play one more song here, then we'll do the first tune from Derek's album that we're going to feature today. So maybe song here this time from we're going to do Spirit of Freedom, the Black Watch. This is Rebel Sundays, folks. So is there any more requests or any questions or anything you have for Derek? Put them on in the comments, and we'll certainly ask them. We'll do good time, but we do have an interview laid out. So I think last year I told him we were going to be 40 minutes. And when I listened back the other day, I think it lasted an hour and 40 minutes. But you know, Derek, he likes to talk. And the guy is, when he talks, you listen and you don't interrupt him. So that's why we went on so long. Here goes with Black Watch from Spirit of Freedom, folks.
Strolling down the Falls Road with red guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. A shower of Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. You've heard about the Beeman, the cruel war you see. You've heard about the Black and Tans and bygone history. But there's another regiment the devil calls his own. It's known as the Black Watch, commissioned by the throne. Strolling down the Falls Road with riot guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. A shower of Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. The soldiers come from Scotland, a place you all know well. The hardest parts of Glasgow, the tiny boys did well. They're given a British uniform, they're given a British gun. They join the fucking army just to have themselves some fun. Strolling down the Falls Road with red guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. A shower of Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. When I get married, I'll have a little son. I'll tell him about the regiment and the fucking things they done. But when he gets older, becomes a man like me, he'll join the provisional IRA, set all Ireland free. Strolling down the Falls Road with riot guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. A shower of Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. Strolling down the Falls Road with riot guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. A shower of Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. Thank God we know the IRA to shoot the bastard dead.
Dun, dun. Yeah, Spirit of Freedom, folks, for you, with the Black Watch on Rebel Sundays here. So Steph is asking for something from the Wicks, so I'm just actually looking here because I have their album on my laptop here, but it's all just numbered. So I'm just trying to look in the Spotify to see what number the track is I want to play. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 7, I think. So hopefully this here should be Erngo Bra from the Wicks, from their album Venceremos. That's the way Chris Cookie pronounced it. So it was whenever he came on the show, he was telling us that and fair play to Chris, he sent me a Wicks vinyl, so he did, and a nice t-shirt and a CD as well, so fair play to him. Don't play enough of the Wicks in the show, but it's one of those bands as well, like, just like the Irish Brigade, maybe the Wolf Tones, any other, or Bick McFarland, any of their stuff we play, it just seems to get us cut off, and so hopefully this won't get us cut off from Facebook, but because I don't want to be get cut off straight away before we'll have Derek on the show. Do you know what I mean? So I think we're taking a gamble here, but we'll see what happens. So folks, yeah, this is Rebel Sunday. So now next 5 minutes, so we're going to have the man Derek Warfield, folks, very noted historian and just absolutely legend of the Irish Republican music ballad scene for many years now. This is going to be Derek's second time on the show, so it is great. We had him on Easter Sunday there on 2021, which was a phenomenal interview, especially just listening to the man himself on Easter Sunday of all days, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was great. So say, if anyone want to go back and watch it, it's still there on my YouTube channel. Harry. So listen, Harry, listen, we're not going to be getting into any of the Wolf Tone stuff today because, as I say, mentioned when we had Derek on the show on Easter Sunday, I went through all that stuff with him, all the early Wolf Tone stuff, all the mid stuff, and obviously then the young Wolf Tone. So today's going to be more focusing on the new band and stuff. So it is. So if you want to go back, you can watch that interview and have we listened to it. It's probably around the start of the interview when we're talking about it. So you go on to my YouTube channel, mate, and you can listen to that there. Just flick through all the videos and you can see it from Easter Sunday 2021. So I say, I don't want to be getting any questions like that today because I do have an interview set out, you know what I mean? Leave it after the interview. Yes, mate, I'll do that there. Okay, right. So listen, what we'll go do is we're going to play then the first song from Derek's new album. Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones. It's called Let the Free Birds Fly. So it is. It's a great album. Actually, the album cover features like a hitch, like so for the hunger strikes, and there's 10 doves flying out, which I'm assuming would represent the 10 hunger strikers. So it is. So it's a great album. So that's going to be the first song we're going to play from, and then hopefully during the magic of internet and Wi-Fi and StreamYard, Derek will pop up in the bottom corner of my screen and he'll be able to bring him on. So fingers crossed, folks. That's, hopefully Damaris is doing her work right now as we speak. So here we go. This is say so many bands have covered this song, folks. We'll play Come Out Your Black and Tans from this album, and obviously the Wolf Tones, original Wolf Tones version this year was phenomenal, so as you all know. But Derek's voice in this here, and I say, but they've just done a real cracking job with this song. So they have, it's just the way it starts off, just really like bang bang bang, and then comes in. Phenomenal, so I have to say. So we'll obviously be talking about this here song when we get Derek on. But here we go. So this is so from the new album, folks, Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones. This is say this here was originally released under their I think it was their third album, so it was. But obviously this is an EP, so it's a few different songs from different albums have been put on. So here we go. This is Derek Warfield, folks, and the Young Wolf Tones with Come Out Your Black and Tans.
I was born on a Dublin street where the loyal drums did beat. The loving English feet, they walked all over us. And every single night when me dad would come on tight, he'd invite the neighbours out to witness chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show you mine, throw you one medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away on the green and lovely lakes of Kilshanvel. Come let us hear you tell how you slandered great Parnell when you taught them well and truly persecuted. What are the sneers and jeers that you loudly let us hear when our leaders of 16 were executed. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Candle. Come tell us how you slew them owl Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus they had spears and bow and arrows. How bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them damn natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away on the green and lovely lakes of Candle. The time is coming fast and I think the day is near when each O'Neill he will run before us. And if there be a need, well our kids will say Godspeed with a verse or two of singing this fine chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Candle. I was born on a Dublin street where the loyal drums did beat. The loving English feet they walked all over us. And every single night when me dad would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out to with this chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Candle. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show you white how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Candle.
The sound there, folks, of Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones with that Commit to Black and Tans. Absolutely phenomenal version of that song there from the new album, Let the Free Birds Fly. So, Rick, just 2 seconds, let's get this off the screen, the video, and hopefully we should have Derek on with us.
Yes.
There we go. How you doing, mate?
Derek is here, yes.
Right, wait a minute, we'll just get this popped up. Seconds.
Yeah. Now, how are you doing?
There we go. We're just getting the graphics on the screen there. So, how are we doing, Derek? We're doing well.
So, am I going?
Yes, you're loud and clear, mate.
Yeah.
Yes, we're loud and clear. So, folks, Derek, welcome along back to the show. You're one of the very few who have featured 2 times on the Rebel podcast on a Sunday here. So, you're most welcome.
I'm very honoured.
Oh yes, there's the trademark hat. We'll have to get the hat on in there. So I do. So it's brilliant, mate, to have you on. Thank you very much.
I can't put the hat on with my
the headphones.
With the headphones, I don't.
No problem. So say I want to just smooth you away.
I can hear fine.
Right. So I want to do a wee bit of smooching first. So obviously, Derek, I think the older you get, you just keep getting better and better. For me, see, you do. It's you see a lot of singers. The older they get, the sort of their voice and all goes. But even after I watched your live stream the other night there on Thursday, phenomenal, mate. Absolutely brilliant. So it was from the cottage bar. So folks, as mentioned, this is Derek's second time on the show. He previously featured on Easter Sunday, 2021. And I say, folks, if any of you want to watch that interview, it's still there. Just search my YouTube channel so you can. Is there a bit of delay? Right, okay. Right, so for now, obviously, Derek, you're back home in Dublin now, sure, for a bit after sort of touring about the States for a while. So tell us the current setup of the Young Wolf Tones, sort of who's all involved and who is your team behind you right now then?
Well, as you probably know, since I founded the Young Wolf Tones, I've had many different personnel changes because I bring along young people and I bring them to America, and they're snapped up by these ladies. So I lost the first lad I had with me was Porrick Allen, and he got married and he didn't want to do the level of travel that we do, so he left me. And then I had Paddy Hickey, and Paddy was from Dublin and a great lad. He played hurling for Dublin. He was with me for 5 years. And he met a lady and he got married and went upstate New York. So then I had another lad from Tyrone, Gary Gormley, and he was with me for about 4 years. And Harvey went and got married as well. So
yeah, we had Gary on the show there a couple of years ago as well. He's well settled over in America these days, so he is.
Yes, and well, I have a great, very settled band now because I think all of them are know the routine and know the fact that we spend a lot of time with a traveling band and we tour. Yeah, so it's I've got a Milan who's from Kildare, and he's a great singer. He's the lad that sings many of the featured songs, and also I have a young lad, Andreas Stroken. He's from Cavan, and he also has a powerful voice, and they're both very talented musicians, and I think that's very important. But also, I think they have, and I could see in them, anyone that's been with me, they have a passion for the tradition and heritage of song and music that we have here in Ireland, and I try to give them an extra artistic value to it, to remind them that it has carried the hopes, the dreams, and the aspirations of the people of Ireland, that our songs have strengthened our nationality. They, in many ways, they do more for indeed our state of mind and our history. They remind us of our background, and of course, they're very much part of every generation since the first recorded texts of history were ever written in this country. Songs, ballads, poems, and have always been part of remembrance in Irish society.
Most definitely. So obviously you're not long back from touring America, Derek. Obviously you'll be heading back again soon, see as well. So tell me this here. Tell me what life is like on the road, for obviously for Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones. Obviously, we always see your daily Facebook updates. You're always eating something. You're always getting well fed, CSR. But obviously, tell me, is it actually all sort of 5-star hotels and a la carte meals, or do you use more or less, you're stuck in the van and sort of living from 7-Eleven sort of gas stations up and down the country? What way actually does it really go?
Well, first of all, there's good and bad in the travel. It's anyone that wants to be a traveling musician and performer is going to get ups and downs. America is a very big country, and the map of Ireland is written all over it. There isn't a part of America that the footprints of Irish people are not present. So anywhere we do make the effort to go and perform, we're always received with wonderful hospitality and generosity. And that's a feature of American life. They know that we've come a long way to bring the songs and music of Ireland. So they respond with a great spirit of welcome. So that aspect is really it's a great treasure, because we also get to know then the reasons why many of those people settle there. And we get to know the history of America. We get to understand how important music was to the early people that left this country for varying reasons, but mostly for a better way of life. And we get to understand the culture and traditions. But the one important fact is that when Irish people left Ireland, they brought their music with them. And the music and traditions that they had in this country enriched the societies over there in which they went to live. And it was cherished and propagated, not just by Irish people, but by people from many other different nationalities who could see in Irish music and the song lore and tradition that it was an exceptional, great heritage, and of course came to love it and to, in many cases, make it their own.
Yeah. So obviously we're just talking there about obviously the traveling, because I've seen other bands like sort of touring up and down there, and it's obviously when you're going from one state to another, it isn't just like driving a few miles up the road. It's like you're going like sometimes traveling the length and breadth of Ireland for one gig. I mean, so how do you deal with that there? Like, I mean, you all together when you're traveling? Are you just traveling in a van or what? Or
yeah, we have a van, a big 12-seater van, and equipment and cases and all the belongings and the instruments are all in that van. And we travel by road where it seems possible to do so. And, if it's not, sometimes we have to go into the air. But since the pandemic, it's been a new normal, if you like, because it hasn't come back to the way it was before the pandemic. Travel is a lot more unpredictable. There's a lot of problems with air travel. There's a lot of problems with the gas is so expensive, the petrol.
Crazy.
And it's we're saying this all the time. It's a new normal, but we got.
It shouldn't be, but the new normal is mad. It's everybody's trying to deal with it like so they are, and it's trying to get your head around this new normal is very frustrating. So it is for everybody, like so it is.
And it is for for a lot of performers because I was speaking to Larry Kirwan, and Larry had a great band in America called Black 47. You might have heard a rock band, and Larry put on a show on Broadway there just after the pandemic, and it's a show about the 5 Points in New York,
right.
And he had to actually, it's going to close shortly because like the houses are just 50%, and I think people are not traveling, and they need to. Most people won't do what we do, like drive from New York to Chicago, and it's 10 or 11 hours. So they want to fly, and of course, flying is also being more unpredictable. So they're, but as I said to you, we got through the pandemic. We were able to keep in touch with our base fans and their people that support our music and the sentiment that it expresses around the world. We get through this, so it's not the end of the world.
Just touching on the pandemic, obviously, Eugene's probably one of the more prominent ones doing like the weekly live streams. And obviously, I used to share your stream every week. Was it sort of important for you to get the whole band together? Just so you were, like, obviously every week, although you're all from different houses and different parts of the country, but was important for you all to be together and just as like sort of a camaraderie while you were sort of split up as such for a while?
I tell you what happened. We were in Massachusetts when the pandemic hit. I was coming up to St. Patrick's Day, and our last gig was in Worcester in the Hibernian Hall. And I knew that like conspiracy theories were everywhere about what was going to happen. Yeah. So we decided to, if it was a short, we'd stay in America for a couple of weeks. But then we realized that it was going to be a lengthy thing, and we all came back to Ireland. And if you like, we downsized to keep the band together. We downsized, and well, Milo had an apartment, gave up his apartment in Dublin, came to live with me, and we came to live mostly close to the studio that I have in my house, and that way we were able to keep ourselves busy, and to, not to to lose the momentum for the love of what we do. So we re-recorded a lot of songs, wrote new songs, and the Let the Free Birds Fly is the first 3D production that we put together during the pandemic. But I'd like to say to you that I wrote, if the sleeve notes in Let the Free Birds Fly, that they're them, and they're in the 12-inch long playing record
See,
and
I
CD.
didn't realise until I seen the set the other night. It's on LP as well. So it is.
Yes,
It's great
and
for vinyl collectors, like so it is. Brilliant.
that's them there, and you can you'll understand more how like I know a lot of people in the acting profession who were similarly indeed impacted by the COVID, and it's been, you know, how it was an unbelievable experience for performers, because like we live like with the love. Most people that play music, perform, acting, it's something they want to do, and
Yep.
the monetary reward is never really the primary reason why they're in that business. It's sometimes artistic satisfaction, sometimes it's belief in the principles and love of the tradition, they're lower down the scale than the monetary reward is lower down the scale. Rather, it's the love of what you do that keeps most entertainers and musicians that I
100%.
know part of the part of performing. So, but it's all in that, and I think you probably know that Robert Balla was the man that designed that beautiful image, and it was really he's such a talented artist and a great friend. And of course, Robert was a musician. He had a band back in the '60s, the Chessmen, but he's also a man who's he's done iconic images of the generation that just passed, and his work will be looked for and deeply appreciated in the years to come, because it's not always that our artists are given the recognition that they deserve in their
Most
lifetime.
definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
There's an artist here from West. Say East Belfast, Danny Devaney, who has obviously painted murals and walls all over the world, and we featured him in an interview there a year ago. He was actually inside with my father, so he was in the cages. And to say Danny, the work he's just he spoke about a lot about Robert Ball as well and the work he does, and they say that they don't get the recognition they deserve, like for the. I mean, he's designed so many bands, cover albums and stuff. Actually, Damien Quinn's album he released last year for the 40th anniversary of the Hunger Strikes, Danny done his album as well. So he's definitely a shout out for the artists there. Just touching on America for another minute. Usually be obviously predominantly known as like a rebel music band. Say when you go over to tour, would you have to sort of like alter your set list in America rather than playing a lot of sort of Republican rebel songs? Would you have to do more sort of folky sort of like sort of trad songs to sort of keep the locals happy as such? Or I mean, do you even sort of say, listen, this is what we are, I don't like it, this is what we're going to be playing, kind of thing? Or
No, really, we don't change our show in any major way. Like our last show on the tour there last year was in Memphis, in Tennessee. Close to Elvis Presley's home,
yeah,
and that'd be very, very typical of some of the very rural places that we play. And people expect us to give them a picture of Ireland, and that's what we do. We give them, we tell them about our history through our songs, and I also remind them of the influences that Irish people had on their own country. And a lot of people in America are very ignorant about the impact that Irish immigrants and exiles had on their
yep.
own traditions. So I do focus on that, and I remind them that it's a great treasure, and we make it entertaining because there's lots of different aspects of Irish emigration and displacement over the years. And I think American people today, anyway, certainly the younger people, they want a little more from entertainment than just music. They
Yep.
like to have there has to be something of a value in the sentiment of the songs and the passion that they're delivered. And I think that's one of the reasons for our success. And like we don't play to big thousands of people. We might play to 300, 400 people. But anyone that's there at our shows will appreciate and value what and I've the band are very good, great singers, great musicians. I mean, Damaris Woods, who plays banjo, is probably the best banjo in Ireland
In
and
the world, I would say.
in the
Derek,
world.
I'm serious, and being there, I mean, I've obviously I've mentioned about Morris and certain songs I'll play, and it's just like blows me away. Like just the way what she can do, like with that banjo, is just phenomenal. I haven't heard many people do what she can do on a banjo. Like, and I think you're being very sort of lenient there, CR. I mean, definitely.
I always say about her the flying fingers,
Flying fingers.
and I don't know how she gets around the trebles and but but that is and of course the banjo is a real connection with America, and I realized back about 25, 30 years ago when I was performing with the Wolf Tones in America that with all of these songs that we were listening to in the cities we were visiting, like in Savannah, Charleston, in Charlotte, and all around America. Many of the songs were based on Irish songs, and I realized that that the culture of Ireland had been absorbed into American country music and to folk music, and it was a journey then that I was able to see just when many people in our American people are not aware of the impact that Irish music had on the development, if you like, of the American ballad, and it was a very powerful influence because of our history, because of the Irish. We had no academic institution that protected our intellectual property.
Yeah. Yep.
We had no academy where people of great talent that had lived in the 18th and 19th century could express the Irish traditions and culture of their communities. And it was such a powerful culture that in many ways it blossomed in America because our people in America could do one thing in the 18th and 19th century that they couldn't do in Ireland. And that was they could be Irish. They could be Irish without fear of a person asking them their faith or religion. They could be any Presbyterian, they could be Baptist, they could be Anglican, but they still were Irish, and they were accepted as such. So America for Irish people offered them so many different opportunities. And of course, being smart, most of the immigrants grasped those opportunities and made great success of their lives and families.
So that sort of leads us to our next song. And so we're going to play, and I'll see what a song it is. The Streets of New York. It was written by the late great Liam Reilly. It was released by the Wolf Tones in 1981. This song here is definitely one of my favourite all-time Irish songs. I lived in America for a while as well, and it definitely sort of, there was a few tears shed the odd night, so there was obviously within all the whole Irish community with myself. So your version of the new EP features Milo on vocals in this here, and I said what a job he's done on it, Derek. Phenomenal version. So it's like a two-barrel question here. So firstly, you tell me first. Tell me a wee bit about the song and what it means so much. The sort of Irish sort of people living all over the world, in different parts of the world, and specifically in America. And then secondly, obviously, could you have your thoughts and sort of memories on the man who wrote the song, Liam Reilly? Obviously, he read another song that means so much to Irish people all over the world, The Flight of the Earls. So tell us first a bit about the song and why it means so much to people, and obviously then a wee bit about Liam Reilly, please.
Well, firstly, Liam Reilly was a very, very talented writer of songs and ballads. He could capture a picture very easily in words that were easily understood by people. And I suppose the Streets of New York would have been never written except for our manager at that time, Oliver Berry. Oliver managed Liam's band, which was Bagatelle.
Bagatelle, yeah, yeah.
And they were a wonderful band. I mean, I always said that Oliver Berry had a great ear and eye for talent. When people said to me, "You're speaking about yourself," I said, "No," but he did have. No, he did have them, because any of the bands that he managed, like Liam Riley's band, were an exceptionally talented outfit, and of course Liam was a very talented songwriter, and that added a new dimension to its popularity. And the Streets of New York came about because of, I could tell you a very long story about an association with New York, but to make it simple, in the 60s when we went to New York, we met many people who were at our shows, and largely many of them were from their employment was in the police force in the fire service, and we became very friendly with those members of the band, and particularly with the man who founded the Emerald Society Police Band, who was a man called Pierce Marr. And Pierce Marr was a distant relation of the great Irish patriot Thomas Francis Marr. And he was steeped in Irish history. Pierce could speak Gaelic, and we found that most of the people living in New York that we came across and were at our shows, their fathers and mothers had left Ireland, and they weren't singing the praises of King George, that's for sure, because they left with, I won't say bitterness, but they left Ireland, say, looking at the country in the 19th century. You couldn't compliment the government in London and how they dealt with the starvation of our people, and the events of the 19th century, and they were appalling. And the response from the government in London was deeply appalling to those people. So they left, and the children of those people, we came into contact with them, and of course they loved the Irish music, and I think Liam knew of our association and was aware how closely involved we were with the communities there, and he captured in a very, very meaningful way also the plight of the exile, the people that left Ireland, but they left something behind them in that country, and something that they could never really recreate in America, because there was such a big proportion of the people in the 19th century that left and were dispersed and disposed of and deported out of this land. And I think that resonates with a lot of immigrants, that they look at that and see that they left a beautiful country that had so many natural attributes. And I think Liam Riley did a superb job, a great song. And of course, our first, when Tommy sang that song back in 1981, it was he did a great job on it, and we recorded it.
Definitely.
Yes, and it was for our band, for the Wolf Tones, and it's a song that's an iconic part of my life because of my associations, with New York. And one last thing, I know that many of those men who were in senior position in the police department came to Ireland back in '84, and they marched to commemorate the hunger strikers. Such was their belief and understanding of Irish history. And many of them had background, ancestry. Their parents were from indeed the north of Ireland, and they knew, many of them, more about Irish history than half of the people in Ireland. And that's the truth.
Yeah, just on there, I'd mentioned as well the Flight of the Earls. It's probably like a similar sort of song, obviously, about sort of immigrants living in another country. I watched there was a speech done there last week in Australia by Mary Lou McDonald, that's the president of Sinn Féin, and it was two, I think it was the Journalists Association of Australia, so it was, and she was more or less reaching out to all the sort of Irish people who's living out there. Obviously, like you're saying in the song itself, saying, listen, look, that airplanes go both ways, you know what I mean? So let's say, listen, look, we want you back. I know you've settled over here, but there's going to be a new life for you here. I mean, so don't be getting too sort of comfortable, do you know what I mean, kind of way.
Yeah, but, I think I didn't hear a speech, but I will often say the same thing myself, because it's easy to travel now. And of course, this country was the source of manpower for Australia. I mean, when I was a kid, you could go to Australia for £10, and it was a lure for people away from the misery and no jobs in this country. But that's not the case today. And the future of Ireland is going to be very, very good, because you have to always remember that no industrial development was put into Ireland in the 19th century. We're the only nation in the 19th century that lost population in Europe. So the government in London, that attitude to Ireland in the 19th century was to depopulate it, because the less people are easy to deal with. And that would be in the way the thinking came from the English authority. But let me remind you that, we play in England, and English authority is always different from ordinary English people. And most Irish people can separate between the two. I've never had any problems with English people, and I find most of them sympathetic, indeed, to the reunification of Ireland when I discuss it with them. But English authority, those people that express those opinions, never seem to get into control in a political way to change things. But I think it's important for us to remember that emigration and exiles has made Ireland a very, very and much talked about society and country the world over. Most people now, the young people are growing up today, are much more learned and much more educated than I was in my young days. And, they're smart, and they're much smarter indeed in the previous generations.
Most definitely. So listen, we'll get into that there a bit more when we come back. So we're going to play The Streets of New York, and actually I'm glad I was able to download the actual video he's made for this here. There's a music video he's done with actually Milo singing and stuff, and some of the recording studio. It's a really good video, so fair play to you. So it is. Normally we'll just play the audio, but it's good to actually have a music video here to play for the song. So Derek, I'm going to put you on mute here, okay, while this here song's on, and then I'll play the song, and I'll get you back in once the song's finished, okay?
Sure, that's great.
Right, no problem. Hey folks, here we go. This is the music video for Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones with The Streets of New York, and this here features on their new album, Let the Free Birds Fly.
I was 18 years old when I went down to Dublin with a fistful of money and a cartload of dreams. Take your time, said me father, stop rushing like hell, and remember all is not what it seems to be. For there's fellas what cut you for the coat on your back, or the watch that you got from your mother. So take care, me young bucko, and mind yourself well. Will you give this sweet note to me brother? At the time Uncle Benji was a policeman in Brooklyn. Me father, the youngest, he looked after the farm. When a phone call from America said send a lad over, me old fella said sure it wouldn't do any harm. For I've spent my life working this dirty old ground for a few pints of porter and the smell of the pound. Sure, maybe there's something you'll learn or you'll see, and you can bring it back home, make it easy on me. So I landed at Kennedy when a big yellow taxi carried me and me bags through the streets and the rain. Well, me poor heart was thumping around with excitement, and I hardly even heard what the driver was saying. We came in the short parkway through the flatlands of Brooklyn to my uncle's apartment on East 53rd. I was feeling so happy, I was humming a song, and I sang You're as Free as a Bird. Well, to shorten the story, what I found out that day, Uncle Benji got shot down in an uptown parade. And while I was flying my way to New York, poor Benji was lying in a cold city morgue. So I phoned up the old fella and told him the news. I could tell he could hardly stand up in his shoes. And he wept as he told me, go ahead with the plan, and not to forget, be a proud Irishman. So I went up to Nellie's beside Fordham Road, started to learn about lifting the load. But the heaviest thing that I carried that year was the bittersweet thoughts of my hometown so dear. I went home that December, 'cause me old fella died, and to borrow the money from Phil on the side. And sure all the bright flowers and brass couldn't hide the poor wasted face of my father. I sold up the old farmyard for what it was worth, and into my bag stuck a handful of earth. And I boarded a plane, and I caught me a train, and I found myself back in the US again. It's been 22 years since I set foot in Dublin. The kids know to use the correct knife and fork. But I'll never forget the green grass and the rivers as I keep law and order on the streets of New York. La 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 la.
We're folks back again, so today we're joined there on the show by, and I don't sort of think says here, a true pioneer of the Irish rebel music scene, Derek Warfield. So Derek, just tell me before we go on to the next question, that when Liam wrote that song, is it like based on a true story of somebody, or is it just a sort of a fiction? Or
well, you see those photographs of those men that were at the end, Dan Donaher, Mike McCrory, well, they're all personal friends, Finbar Devine, of myself, and I suppose in many ways, lots of those men that I knew who formed part of detectives, and they were asked me, is that song about me? Is that song about me? And I said, well, let me put it this way. There's a little bit of every one of your lives in it, because there's so many young Irish people that joined the police force and the fire service in New York. And the reason for that is very simple. It offered a secure life for young Irish American people to have families and to have a steady income, something they hadn't known in Ireland. So security probably was the main reason, but also I think a lot of people that thought more deeply would have wanted to give something back to America for the opportunity and the freedom that it offered to their families and to their lives. So, but you're right about a lot of them ask me, is it about me?
Just see, before we go on here, obviously, like the Liam wrote the song, but see, what way did that there work? Was that song actually written for you?
Absolutely, yes, it was, yes, absolutely, yeah.
So what way does that there work? Does basically does he write the song and say, listen, I know who'd be great singing this here, or what's actually the process of? Well,
he wrote it especially for the Wolf Tones, for a band, because I think it was widely known, Pierce Marr, who was a personal friend of mine, was an inspector in the police force, and he arranged for the mayor of New York to give us the keys of the city.
Yeah,
and and that was in 1971, 10 years before the Streets of New York was written. So over the 70s, we performed in Carnegie Hall on a couple of occasions with the Emerald Society Police Band, and they opened the show to uh, to an ecstatic crowd that loved the spectacle of a great big man celebrating the heritage and tradition of Ireland. Pierce Maher was a great visionary because, like, he truly believed that Irish people had given so much to the city of New York through the police and fire service that they needed uh, to represent their communities in the music that they loved. And he transposed so many Irish tunes into piping because a lot of the tunes they available in America were Scottish, and he did, and so did many of the other John Tansey and all of the other guys who were in charge of the band. They were the first police band in America. Emerald Society, Irish police band. Now every police force across America have one.
It's phenomenal to watch. So it is, like, just even on the St. Patrick's Day parade, the whole furore of it. I mean, like the whole, like the way they dress and the whole, like, it's brilliant to watch them on parade. So it is, like.
Well, you look at it like this: it's an expression of pride in their Irish identity, and they especially through music. It's and it's therapeutic for people that love and value this country's long and powerful culture and tradition of music.
Definitely. So moving on, you're a noted historian, Derek, a man who have sort of travelled the world, as you mentioned on. You spoke to a lot of people of different traditions, north and south of Ireland. So in your personal perspective, right? So what does because I know this is a high topic for the last lot of months now. It's going to grow and grow more legs. What does like a United Ireland, or what's been talked about, a new Ireland, look like to you? And can you sort of see it happening in your lifetime?
Oh, it definitely can happen if there's goodwill. But I think, the first thing that when you have to talk about the resettlement or the unification of Ireland, you have to talk about the fact of do people want that? Before you even start about looking for the future, I'd like to see the table and what's on it. We have to have the table first.
Yep.
And because I think it's important that we discuss it here in Ireland, but we won't make the decision. The people that will make the decision are in London. And
for now, it won't happen until they actually give the go ahead for a referendum.
They have to change their policy, and their policy is indeed to have to support their control and I've always believed that the English politicians, the real reason for being in Ireland anyway is strategic, and they treat Ireland very much the way Putin treats Ukraine. They see it. They don't really have a respect for Irish independence, and over the years, if you study history like I have, over the years, there isn't any great trust in English authority, because there's a lot of deceit around their actions, and their self-interest always comes first. So I think before we start, we'd have to make sure that you're not dealing with somebody like Boris Johnson. You could spend 10 years discussing, sign an agreement, and then you throw it in the bin. So I think there's three things that we need, and trust is one of them, and we'd have to be able to say that if we did come to an agreement, that it would be honoured, but before we start, you'd have to secure those things, and at the moment I don't think there's any trust really with any English authority from many of the people here in Ireland because of the way they behaved. And I've heard that in Washington. I play in Washington all the time, and I speak to people that are in the political arena politicians that know, and they were astonished at the behaviour of the government in Westminster, how they dealt with the Good Friday Agreement and the legacy issues, the issues that the government has been in London being accused of, government sponsored murders. So that you don't bring about a closure in with those things that can be, it can go on forever. And we all know that the English authority have the propensity to drag a thing out for 50 years before they admit guilt. And they done
Yep.
that, of course, with the killing and the murders on Bloody Sunday back in 1972.
Just do you think, is there like an appetite for it in the south from
Oh,
everybody? Is it,
look, nobody in this country wants to see Ireland divided. Nobody. Even I'm talking to many people from a unionist background, and many of them believe that this country wasn't served both economically and politically by the divisions that were created by unelected people in London. They decided to
yep.
do that, and I do think that we, we should look at every aspect of it, and I do think there's an appetite. I think. I remember reading about what Winston Churchill said. He said that every Irishman wants to see the country united. He said because it's a great nation, and if you look at the history, if the people took the time to look at the history and look at the words of several of the deep thinkers that were able to propagate and look at the reason, the economic, the cultural reasons why this country should be united, they'll find the answers. And and I see it abroad. When Irish people go abroad, I meet people of all different backgrounds from Ireland, in Canada, in America, in the US, and throughout the world. And I meet people all over England that most of these people want to see unity in the country. So it's up to us to set the agenda. And I think that's important, to set the agenda and then see what folks want in both parts of Ireland. But I do think the majority of people in this country always never wanted to be separated. I think they showed that in the 1918 election, when almost 75% of the people voted for separation from England. But that vote wasn't listened to. You have to, if English authority is not going to listen to democratic majorities in Ireland, we're going to find it very hard to trust any politician in England. You couldn't trust them, because
speaking of politicians, obviously the reason I asked that was because obviously in the south here now, where we've had sort of so many Fine Gael and sort of Fianna Fáil over the last 30 years, and any time it's mentioned to them about any sort of type of a border poll, or even talking about it, even as recent as the last couple of months, the thing has always been, no, listen, look, it's not the right time to even talk about it. It'll be divisive and all this here, whatever. I mean, when will the right time be to talk about it from these people? I mean, this is as I said, the first song I played there was your new version of the Black and Tans. This is the same people who wanted to honour them just a year ago. So I mean, in the south. So that's what you're dealing with. I mean, when do you think will the agenda ever be on the table for the politicians in the south?
Well, I think it should be on the agenda now. I think it should be foremost on the agenda because, if you don't talk and look at the problems and address those problems, there's no point in sitting down at the table and putting something on that you don't even know. So you do have to talk about it, and you do have to bring it into the very important realm. And in any divided nation, this has to be done. And I think when you look at other countries that have dealt with the problems that we have and the legacy of colonial rule, where you have a colonizer that wants to give one community benevolence and privilege in that society to keep and place them there really as a garrison to secure their interests. And it's shown that many of the politicians, the unionist community, would are making decisions that are not in the best interests of the people of Ireland, and even of the best interests of the people in 6 counties. And I mean, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make
Well,
sense.
you want to try living here through it, Derek? It's just baffles you at times. Just when you're talking about the northern part, two things I've heard mentioned of late, and a couple of sort of commentators talked about it, was one of the issues they would have if ever was a border poll talked about or put on the table was one, the flag, our flag. When it's sort of silly when you look at it of what the flag means. I mean, what it actually means. They have such an issue with the Irish tricolour when basically the orange in it represents Demons. But the other thing was a rant in the vein, the national anthem. Oh, that would have to be looked at if there ever was like a reunification. I mean, what do you think about them two subjects? Do you think would they have to be on the table?
I'd have to see the table first.
Yeah. See the table first before anything can be discussed on it.
Yes, I mean, they're problems that are, if they're a concern. I remember discussing with the English flag that displays the harp of Erin on it. And the thistle of the flag of Scotland and of England. Emblems and flags can have a great deal to say about a community, and they change over the years. Like as you probably know, the flag of Ireland was the harp of Erin, based on a green flag, and my friend and my good friend Eamon McThomas always believed that should have been always kept as the flag of Erin. And he was buried actually with that flag on his coffin, because that's the flag that he loved. Because to him it represented the United Irishmen, and so they're not difficult things to sort out. I believe. I think it's the most important thing is to that everybody in Ireland gets around their head that they're living in Ireland. They're not living in Sussex. And they have to live with their neighbours, whether they like it or not. And people have had to come to terms with that, not just in this country, but in many countries. So, but I do think that politicians should brace the subject now and start looking at I spoke to some people in Canada, in Vancouver, that did a study on the economic effects of reunification. And the figures, I'm not an economist, but the figures show that, the staggering increase in the gross product of this country, if it were, because the artificial border that was put up in Ireland separated a lot of communities in a very, very difficult way to create indeed industry, to create businesses that would be viable. And like economically, it was a disaster for many communities around Ulster. But I have those figures that were given to me by, I think, the University of Vancouver did an economic assessment of how that would be done. But I do think that's very important. And going back to the 60s, I discussed this, and very young at the time, and I had no idea about economics. But I remember discussing it with many people about the economic effects, because my grandfather always said that it had a disastrous effect on the not just the political part of Ireland, and not just but also on the economic development. And I think with them, I think we should look very seriously at that and look at the different branches of our health service and how they can be managed in a future. And I think that should be done, and then you see what the problems are. If you look at it, you see what the problems are. But I would definitely, I think economically and culturally, it's very important to look at those things. So I think most Republicans like myself always believe that people have a right to express their identity in any republic. So I have no problem with people expressing their British heritage or what they want to do. I know many people in Ireland, in England and Scotland that have been living there for years, but they still express their Irish identity, and they do so without fear. And I don't think there's any reason why the people in this country could do the same. That want to and want to express an English or British identity. I have no problem with that. I think most people, yeah.
Hopefully we'll see a bit more movement on it, and then you never know, maybe this next election in the south, if the Shinners get a few more candidates out, we might actually see Mary Lou in government and might shake things up a little. We'll never know. So I have on screen here now the new album cover. That's what we're here to talk about today. So it's been released at the minute. You can stream it online on Apple Music and Spotify, which I've been playing the songs from, and you have a vinyl for it as well, Derek. So obviously this here album features a few older recordings, so it does, from obviously different previous albums and a few newer songs. So the cover itself, as you say, was Robert Balla designed it. It's obviously a hitch with 10 doves. I'm assuming represents the hunger strikers, does it? The 10 doves?
Yes, and like the image of the doves are doves of peace that are coming out of the H block, and of course there's 10 of them. The 10 spirits, and of course there was a dual entity in that image, because we were coming out of the lockdown, and it was I wrote the literature that's a 2-page little book that's inside it about our experiences of the lockdown, and we re-recorded many of these songs during that and put them together, and that takes time. But we had the help and support of all the band and the time to do it. But it's only one of many things that we did. We finished 2 other CDs that will be coming along over the next 6 or 8 months.
So kept busy anyway, then, see yourself during lockdown, and just sitting about in your arse. You've been being very proactive. Just Marty was asking in the comments, is this album available on CD as well? Is it?
It's available on CD at our website, and it's available on as a long player as well. And I think if anybody wants to just send us an email, and we'll have it the next day.
Yeah, happy days, Grant. Yeah,
but I think I'd ask everybody to read the literature that's on it. It gives the background of the songs, the people that wrote them, and the reasons they were composed and written. And yeah.
So just on the album itself, so the name, "Let the Free Birds Fly," obviously it's like an unofficial chant of, like, in the lyrics of the Fields of Athenry, people would shout out. So tell us a wee bit about naming the album, the name of it, what you've chosen.
Well, "Let the Free Birds Fly," of course, was like, and it's no way am I making a comparison between what it means to us and what it meant to the young man who died on hunger strike. I mean, there were 23 men who died on hunger strike in Ireland since 1970, and their courage and dedication to this country can never be undervalued because of what they did. But in terms of what it says about our band, it was after the pandemic we started to do gigs again, and the guys were saying, "Let the free birds fly." And I said that, and I think Amara suggested it's a very good title for an album. So
it's catchy, people know it, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that's how it came about.
So you're heading back to America soon, right? Before you head off, is you still a few gigs in Ireland to do? So is there any sort of big gigs planned, like sort of festival stuff for, like, obviously? I was you were meant to play at the big ballad fest, so you were at the City West Hotel there, and I was gutted because Aidan had actually asked me to host both nights of it, and I was really looking forward to seeing you play on stage, the whole band. But obviously that there didn't happen because of the hotel obviously closing down because of the Ukrainian thing. So it was. But what do you have planned before you head back to America over in Ireland? What were you going to be? Or
well, tonight I'm playing up in Castleblaney. Tomorrow night we're playing at the in Mullingar at the Flag Hole. Doing a concert there. We're playing actually and doing a nice concert in Liberty Hall in Dublin, in James Connolly's Hall, on the 3rd of September. And we're looking forward to that. That should be a nice concert. But well, like yourself, I was very disappointed when the City West uh, festival was cancelled, because we hadn't done a big show in Ireland for about 3 or 4 years, and we were looking forward to performing, and of course, it was taken away from us by the Ukrainian war, and we got very little notice, and many of my friends came from Canada.
Yeah, I know
And
so
had,
many people were coming for that gig. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
and
been in the planning for a while.
yeah, they 6 of them came over from Canada just to go to it. I had people from Germany that came to the show, and they couldn't cancel their flights or their accommodation. So it was a real cost, and I do hope that the government appreciate indeed that we didn't start bitching and moaning about it, because I know the Ukrainian war and the people that are suffering during it. There's nobody that understands that more than the Irish people, because of our past history.
Just when you mentioned obviously the cost, like I know Aidan, who was running the event, like the first one he done was it was a 1 day, and he went all out for this one. It was like a 2 day event, and I'm sure he lost mega money on it, like, because I know even him had said it was short notice for him. He was just told, like, sorry, it isn't happening, like. And I don't think people realise an event of such magnitude, the costs are involved in it. I mean, it isn't just, I will book a few bands. I mean, he's talking the security, the insurance alone, like, for that there. And obviously, that's all sort of money that he's put up front. I mean, and it's probably going to have to try and recover that there.
Well, you're absolutely right. I don't think. I think a lot of people in authority don't realise how entertainment is impacted. It's not just cancelling the gig, and we found out during the pandemic, but there's also the logistics. There's the promotion, that money that's spent, and a lot of money is spent. Sometimes, and it's not all recovered with the show.
Yep.
And I don't think they take that into account. I think it's things like that were done very flippantly, and I don't think there was enough thought put into the impact that it would have, particularly, as you said, on the organisers of the event, and the time, effort, money, and the amount of energy they put into promotion, and and then the people that come, they make plans. Now, people make plans. I know people that were playing at Liberty Hall in September that have already made plans to come from Scotland for the show, and so we make, because the world is so busy now, people have to make plans in advance, I think, so but
just in the comments here, have you used any plans anytime soon or in the future to come to Belfast at all, Derek? Actually, been away from you've played here, so it has, like.
Well, I think I said it to Jerry Glack, and I said it's years since I played in the Devonish, and I'd like to play there again. I always enjoyed playing at that venue.
Yeah, it's a great venue, great stage for a big band. So it is, like, you can really spread it on it, like. Yeah.
So I definitely can consider it, and but I'm always available. As we were up in Derry Tresk at Easter, on Easter Monday, and we played there for the National Graves Association, and I've always supported them since the '60s, and I've to look after the monuments, and there's actually a little plaque in Bodenstown for the show we did back in 1965 for the refurbishment of the monument there. So I think it's very important that we do that and remember those who fought for our freedom and knew there was a better life for Irish people if we had the ability to set that agenda ourselves rather than be set in London, because it's always self-interest that has directed the political direction of London towards this country. Right. They never, indeed, there was no ever thought given to the people of Ireland, north or south.
Wee bit of a cheeky question here. Somebody's just put in the live stream, so you can answer it if you want. Joseph McGill says, Ro, go and ask Derek, so what age is he now, and what in his mind has he got left to do in this sort of what's still on your bucket list that you want to do, like, or have you done it all?
No, I haven't done it all. No, we completed. I have the Call of Erin, which is a second CD about the songs of resistance, and the songs of protest over the last generation. And I have that. Most of it was done during the pandemic. I'll have it out in the next couple of months, and I've also completed a second CD on the Irish songs and music of the American Revolution, which I've called The Dawn's Early Light. And so they're the two projects that I have immediately. And also I've been writing my recollections over the years of performing and the incidents that have, and issues and that have affected my life with the old band, the Wolf Tones, and of course with the new band. So yeah, I'll be busy. Please God, I get up every morning and thank God that I have my health.
Are you still riding the bike?
What?
Are you still out riding the bicycle?
How did you know that?
Oh sure, Milo posted a picture a while ago. You and him up at some mountain or something, or a castle or something. Two of us had the helmets on. See us did out riding the bike in the bikes. See us did.
Yeah, well, during the pandemic, it was mandatory for anyone that stayed in the house here. They had to come back to cycle with, because we have a locally cycleway from here to Longford, from Dublin to along the Royal Canal, and that's it's one way to keep your mind right and to keep you keep yourself fit. And at my age, you don't get away scot-free. There's always some sort of complaint. Some parts of the engine are not going to function properly.
Yep, I'm getting that way myself, for God's sake. But listen, he's not going to give away his age, folks, anyway, so I think we're going to dodge that question.
I don't have any problem with my age. I'm 79 this year. And
79?
Yeah. So, and that's...
Looking as young and fresh as ever, Derek, so you are. So before I let you go, obviously, because I've took up so many of your time, so thank you very much again. Just on that there, when you were on here last, you had said you were going to send me like a CD out, and I couldn't believe it. Like about a week later, a box came to the house, and this thing must have weighed a ton. And I was so chuffed. I put a picture up on Facebook. Oh, you'd give me all of your albums, a couple of books you'd released, and it blew me away, Derek. So honestly, thank you so much for sending that to me. It's something I'll always treasure. So it is. I really, really appreciate it. So I do.
Well, you were speaking yesterday. I had a guy write to me from Australia, and he said to me, Derek, next time you're out in Australia, can you come to our community? And it was in South Australia. And I wrote back to him and said, do you not get any Irish bands going there? No, he said the last Irish person of significance that came to the community was Michael Davitt.
Right.
I said, Michael Davitt.
Well, I'm sure Gary Ogle got there, because Gary was on a tour there over about 2 or 3 months ago, so he did. So
yeah, and I'm sure he'll get a great reception because he does a great show.
And,
yeah, and I feel like yourself. I think a lot of our young people are wasted in Australia because it's not a country that really values the same principles that we like to. In Ireland, I found it very colonial. Some of the restrictions on people coming into the country.
Yeah,
and I didn't. But the actual people that at the festivals we played in, we played the National Folk Festival in Canberra, and also in the Folk Festival in Port Darlington, and all of them were the people couldn't have been nicer to us. But I do think the overall, I think Irish people, I don't think they're as valued there as they are in America, and that's my experience.
So we're going to play one more song, Derek, from the new album, and I'd say again, thank you very much for coming on today. It's been much appreciated. Now, I was watching your live stream there on Thursday night from the Stockhouse, is it called?
Yes.
You were playing. You were doing a lot of your live streams during the pandemic as well. So you got Milo sung this song, but you mentioned beforehand about Kathleen Largy. and you're talking. And obviously, it's Kathleen Largy's version of this song I always play in the show, because there's nothing like it. When you hear this song, it's just Kathleen Largy all over, We're talking about the Sniper's Promise, so again, like I said earlier on, for me, the Damaris and the banjo in this song just, it makes it. It's just so, I haven't heard it, it's very lively, you know what I mean? I haven't heard the way the arrangement of this song done, the way you've done it. It sort of keeps the respect of what the song's about, but it's still really, it's a masterpiece the way you've put it together. So firstly, tell me a wee bit about this here particular song, and because I know you spoke about the story about the volunteer the other night, when you before they played the song. Tell us a wee bit about the song and why you want to put on this new album.
Well, firstly, it's a song I always wanted to record, and I suggested it many times to the Wolf Tones. I just realised that it's a very poignant song in terms of conflict. And meeting so many people around the world that were involved in wars and conflict, there's one thread that goes through it all the time, and that is that it's never a happy situation for them in the aftermath of the events. And, I spoke to many American servicemen and many people in Croatia that had, gone through human conflict in their societies and communities. And I understand why this young man wrote this song. And when I first heard Kathleen Largy sing it, it was in the town hall in Enniskillen in Fermanagh. And I had a very good friend there, Frank McManus. And Frank would have been older than me. I was young at that time, but I had great respect for his understanding of history and his understanding of the political situation. He was elected as the MP, and he organised a protest march, a civil rights march, and he was given a 6-month sentence and in prison. And at the time he got out of prison, they held a reception for him in the town hall in Enniskillen. And Kathleen and our band came to play along with us, along with the Wolf Tones, to play it. And so I asked her about the song, and she told me, and my recollection was that the man who wrote it didn't want to be acknowledged. And maybe that was a lot to do with the time of the events. You have to remember that during the Troubles, to express anything in terms of support, indeed, for those who were fighting against when the English government went to war on the people of the 6 counties, you'd be very quickly told it wasn't your business or shut up. So it had cost to stand up and say, it doesn't have cost today, but it had cost at that time. And I appreciate her coming down from Belfast, and like Frank McManus appreciated us coming up from Dublin. And but that's the first time I heard it, and I thought it was a fantastic song. And I like you, I still play her along playing record. She's such a phenomenal voice and a great balladeer. And there's nothing as powerful as a woman's voice singing our artist songs. And
most definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and she does it in an exceptionally way. But I have to agree with you that Damaris and Milo, they set that tempo and that rearrangement. And when they first played it for me, I was blown away by it. I said, God, it's so great that you've recorded, you've done an arrangement. I was so pleased. And of course, we recorded it then during the pandemic, and that's it. But it's, I always say that no mother wanted her son to be involved indeed in a war. And I could understand exactly why he dedicated the young lad's life to his mother.
Yeah. So see, actually, in the because I couldn't really figure it in the song itself. So did he shoot the soldier in the end?
No.
Or he didn't. So he let him go then. So he did. So he did. Living on. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's a very, very powerful song. Say I've heard so many different bands playing it, but it's always been all been the same sort of tempo that's been sung, do you know what I mean? And just, I think that's why I want to play this one today, because it's just the arrangement you put together for it. It is sort of lively and up tempo, but still it gives the respect to the song and what it's all about. So I mean, so fair play to Milo as well. He's done a great job saying tomorrow's great. So Derek, listen, thank you very much, mate, again for coming on today. You don't know how happy you may be this coming on the show. It's when you get to speak to people like you and just you learn something new every time you speak to you, just stuff you hadn't no idea about, and you'll just say something that's in my eyes, you're one of my heroes. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Well, thanks for the compliments. They're very much appreciated. I also want to say to yourself that you do a very important thing, as you probably know. I speak at a lot of shows and radio shows and podcasts in America, and I'm asked almost every other week to do something in terms of history, or and I've become very, very acquainted with the history of the Irish in America. But like what you do in bringing the shining light on the importance of our songs and how it strengthened our nationality and identity, I think, and also brought the issues, the unjust issues that were directed by London to this country, to bring them to the world stage, because, sometimes English politicians go around the world bragging that they support human rights when they're the greatest abusers of it in this country, if you look at the history. And so it's important what we do through our songs. And, I think Pete Seeger, I have a good friend in America that played with him for years, Steve Malloy, and he's from Belfast. Originally, his family were from County Antrim, and like they've issued a stamp to Pete Seeger now in America, and I'm a stamp collector, and I was delighted to see him honoured. But I thought about what he said to me back 40 years ago, and he said, "Never be afraid to speak out and sing out. Never be afraid." And I was never afraid. And I'd also say to there's three things that English politicians have to learn about Ireland, and one is respect, and to remember that respect and honour, and to treat this country as an equal, not as a servant. And I think that will go a long way into creating a united Ireland.
Well, I think when we're talking about these British Prime Ministers, this supposing incoming Liz Truss woman is going to be very, very much like Maggie Thatcher by the sounds of what I've heard from her doing, because she wants to ban unions and everything, and the stuff that unions, the power that trade unions have. So it doesn't look like a good future for us in that sort of direction, Derek. But listen again, thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to meet you in person. I'll get you a gig and we can have a wee chat so I can. So thank you very much.
When I go to Belfast over the next few months, you'll be the first person I call. Right?
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll sit down for a coffee or something. So Derek, we're going to play now the Sniper's Promise. So thank you very much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Cheers.
God bless.
Folks, where we go up was Derek Warfield there, from Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones. So we're going to play the song now from their new album, Let the Free Birds Fly. So this is with Milo singing this one, and say I mentioned just about Damaris, the banjo in this here. It's just phenomenal. So we go. This is a Sniper's Promise, folks, from Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones.
The night was icy cold, I stood alone, waiting for an hour squeeze the trigger of my Armalite.
Oh mama, comfort me. I know these awful things have got to be, but when the war for freedom has been won, I promise you I'll put away my gun.
Shots rang out, I heard a soldier cry. Please don't leave me here alone to die. I realized his patrol had gone away and left their wounded comrade for me to slay.
Oh mama, comfort me. I know these awful things have got to be, but when the war for freedom has been won, I promise you I'll put away my gun.
Well, there's nothing in this world I would not give. If mercy in your heart you'd let me live. And in his eyes I saw a begging flame as the muzzle of my gun moved toward his brain.
Oh mama, comfort me. I know these awful things have got to be, but when the war for freedom has been won,
There we go, folks. Sound of Sniper's Promise from Derek Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones. It's a phenomenal version that they're really well put together, the arrangement. So just once again there, I just want to mention the Derek. I don't know if he's still tuned in, but thank you so much, Schmidt. To interview you once was an honour and privilege, but actually to do it a second time, to be able to listen to you and just sort of get some stuff out of your head for a second time, especially on screen this time, was just, I'm so happy. So thank you. And it's through the sort of platform doing this show where I get to do stuff like this here. It just it doesn't get much better. So cheers. Loads of great comments coming through here about the interview and about that song as well, folks. I know you're all loving it today. Just on that there, he's made us seen a guy, John Daly, posted something there. I blocked him from the page so he can no longer listen to the show. And I don't sort of do that lately, but the last few weeks he's been listening and sort of more or less saying, stop talking, get the rebs on. But when Derek Warfield is sitting talking, and obviously, and he can maybe see us here, a member of his band can see us here, whatever, the comments and stuff, and he's more or less saying, get him off and get the rebs on. When you have somebody of the stature of Derek Warfield sitting talking about his life and the music industry and whatever, and you want me to cut him off and get the music on, so I don't think so. So John Daly, you've had your few chances, so cheerio, you're gone, mate. Let's see. So loads of great comments, right? So folks, we'll maybe go on for a wee bit longer than they will see, because after I went on, as I knew it was going to go on, because I have a few more things to do. We'll have all the tickets to give away. So what we're going to do now is we'll have 4 tickets, okay? So 2 sets of 2 tickets to give away for this here, folks, first. So if any are in Derry, or you're going to be heading to Derry on over the weekend of the 21st of August, this is a great event happening in the Derry City Sports and Social Club. Now, Marty already won the first set of tickets, so well done. So we have another 2 set of tickets to give away now, okay? So, as usual, I'm going to ask you a question. And it's going to be 2 winners this time. So the first 2 answers that pop up on my screen in the comments section, I'm going to give them the winner. So don't be thinking of your YouTube, I was ahead of that person, you can see them. It's all to do with the internet speed. Whenever how quick it gets to me, on my screen, that is how I'm going to decide who wins them, okay, folks? Nothing to do with favouritism or whatever. So we'll have 2 sets of 2 tickets to give away, so 4 tickets to give away for this here gig here with Glasnevin, Kelly's Men, Pierce Whitehouse, Ricky Nixon, Barry Davey and myself, Rowe as well. So very easy question, this one, laddies will know it. So say whoever the first 2 are to pop up my screen is going to be it's going to be the winner. So here we go. So tell me this here. What date and year? So I need the date and the year the Bloody Sunday happened. What date and year the Bloody Sunday happened, folks? To win yourself a set of tickets for this here. What date and year the Bloody Sunday happened? What date and year the Bloody Sunday happened? And only answer if you can go to the gig as well, folks. It's going to be in Derry on the 21st. Sunday, the 21st of August. So, I can see us all going in the Google now, try and find out. I'm sure you're all Googling like crazy to get the answer to this question. So, what date and year the Bloody Sunday happened? Hey, Joseph, you didn't give me the day, right? So, Ciara is the first one there, okay? Ciara is the first one to get it right, so she is. So Ciara, there is the first one. So well done, Ciara. You have yourself a set of tickets for the gig. So Ciara is the first one. So I need the date and the day. Or so the date and the year. So David Mack, there you go. David Mack, 30th of the 1st, 72. So Ciara Griffin was the first one. So busy Joseph Neds, as he said, January 72, but I wanted the date and the year. So there's our 2 winners, folks. Ciara Griffin, which was first on Facebook. She was the first winner, so she was. And the next one there was David Mac, C. So 30th of the 1st, 72. So somebody on YouTube as well. So well done to these 2. So if you can just send me your details, whatever, on a PM on Facebook, whatever, and I will arrange for your names to be at the door. So well done. That's our 2 winners for the tickets for Derry on the 21st of August. So Ciara Griffin is the first one. Well done to you. 30th of January 1972. And David McSee is the next winner. You slept in. You slept in the last 10 as well, mate. See, it did. The question about Derry City. So well done to you two. That's our two winners. Right, so what we're going to do now, folks, is we're going to play a song here from a band who's playing at the gig, Callie's Men, from their absolutely cracking album recorded live in Derry there, a few years ago, live at in the Craigan. So here we go. This is Callie's Men, folks, with their version of the Foggy Dew. I have to say, Rory, who plays drums for the Callie's Men, he's been playing with Emer all weekend as well. This weekend, a few other gigs. He's brilliant in this here, so I love our Rory. So here we go. It's Callie's Men, folks, with the Foggy Dew. And after this one here, folks, so we're going to have the 2 tickets to give away for the Wolf Tones at Falls Park on the 14th of August. So that's the big tickets everybody wants. They're sold out completely. So we're going to be giving away the tickets for the Wolf Tones at Falls Park after this one. So that's the one I know you all want. So, but only be out there now if you can attend the gig. Okay, so here we go. So this is Callie's Men, folks, with the Foggy Dew on Rebel Sundays. And well done to our 2 winners this afternoon.
Was down to Glen one Easter morn, to a city fair rode I. Well, there were armour lines of marching men, and the squadrons have passed me by. No fife did hum, no battle drums did sound, it's a loud tocsin. But see Angela's bell, or the Liffey so well, it rang out in the Foggy Dew. And right proudly and high over trouble in town, they hoisted the flag of war. It was better to die beneath a navy sky than survive the suitable war. And from the plains of Royal Meath, strong men they came hurrying through, while Britannia's scum with their long-range guns sailed in through the Foggy Dew. It was England's who paid, where widely they roam, that small nations they might be free. But their lonely graves ever civilized waves at the fringe of the great North Sea. For her back they died by Pierce's side, or fought with cattle brew. The names we will keep, with the fiends they sleep beneath the spread of the Foggy Dew. Bravest he fell as the requiem bell rang mournfully loud and clear. For those who died at that Easter time, at the springing of the year. While the world did gaze in deep amaze at those fearless men but few, sure they bore the fight so freedom's light might shine through the Foggy Dew. I rode again hearts with grief it was so. For I parted with those valiant men whom I shall never see no more. For to and fro in my dreams I will go, a thing cannot break for you. All glorious dead, the rebels they fell, they died in the foggy day. All glorious dead, the rebels they fell, and they died in the foggy day. Thank you.
There we go. Sound of Callie's Men there, if you folks. From their album recorded live in the Creggan. So that's one of the bands we playing at the big gig here in Derry on the 21st of August. Just giving an RV announcement, folks, for it while we're here. So well done to the winners, David McSee and Ciara Griffin. Where's the flyer now? My head. Where is it? Jesus Christ. There we go. So Derry City Sport and Social Club, Sunday the 21st of August. Only a tenner, folks, for this lineup. Glasnevin, Callie's Men, Pierce Whitehouse, Ricky Nixon, Barry Davey, and myself, Roe. And then don't forget as well, before it all kicks off, I'm going to be live in the club itself, live podcast on Sunday the 21st with special guest hosts, Barry Davey and Ron McDonald. We're going to be multi-streaming live as normal on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. So hopefully you get a few of you tuning in, or if you're in Derry, call up, folks. It's going to be a great gig. So it is... Right, what are we doing here now? Right, so I say we do have tickets today as well to give away for the Wolf Tones, folks, in the Falls Park. So we do. So, Derek Delaney. Wrote to please play Celtic My Heart and My Soul for my wingman birthday, Joe. Yes, actually, we'll do one more Celtic song before we finish the show up. So I'll play it there, definitely. Great wee tune. That's probably one of my favourite Celtic songs out over the last couple of years. So yep, Derek, we'll do it there for your wingman birthday, Joe. Not a problem, mate. Right, so we'll have 2 tickets now, folks, to give away for the Wolf Tones in the Falls Park for the Fela event. Here is the gig here. It's obviously it's sold out. So it as well, it's sold out. There's going to be special guests as well. As far as I know, they haven't been announced yet, but it's going to be either the Hot Whiskies or the Raising the Moon. Not sure what obviously it's the same band and the sort of same structure, so it's going to either be the Hot Whiskies or the Raising the Moon are playing first. Then Ansparad said they're playing today, probably playing next. Then Gary Ogue is going to be on with his full band. We'll be getting to see him, and then obviously the Wolf Tones to finish things off. So we're going to be outside McEnany's as well, folks. McEnany's bar last year, you all seen it was a phenomenal day out. Doing a pre-Tones party from 1 to 5 live on probably Facebook and YouTube. Don't know about Twitter because I'll just be on it from my phone. So the audio quality that day, folks, will just be like sort of picking up the music from the background. So it won't be the the audio quality you're used to. Right, so say we'll have 2 tickets to give away, folks, for this gig here. Right, so this is it. Now you heard me mention it earlier on there, right? I'm going to play the song. So the Wolf Tones, The Streets of New York, of course, written by Liam Reilly. What year was it released? What year did the Wolf Tones release The Streets of New York? So again, first one that pop up on my screen will be the winner. So I'll have 2 tickets, folks, and say if you want to enter, you need to be here to pick the tickets up from me that day. So what year did the Wolf Tones release The Streets of New York? There we go. Irish is the first one on. Irish on YouTube is 1981 with the winner. So, well, Elaine, 94? So, well done. Irish was the winner. It was the first one on the screen. So, listen, you need to let me know, Irish, where are you going to be here? Because obviously I don't know, you haven't got a screen name or a username, whatever. So, you need to contact me today, okay? Because I say these tickets need to be picked up from me personally on the day of the gig. So if you're not going to be there, I mean, I need to know who it's going to be. It's coming, I mean, so but say well done. That's the winner anyway. So, but I think maybe what we should be doing, folks, is if you are out in a competition, you need to have your name on these here. So we do. So, but listen, actually, no, it is. Yeah, so listen, we've already given it out. So listen, Irish, you need to contact me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, whatever you can, and let me know who you are. Just so, because here, obviously, your name isn't on the thing. So, well, actually, folks, I think from now on, so any more competitions we're going to be doing, okay, what I want to do is, if you are entering a competition, your screen name has to be on the so if you're looking on YouTube or something, whatever, I'm only going to give it the people that have actually a name. I mean, like John Smith or Joe Blogs, whatever. So obviously, but I have given it here. So Irish has been the winner. So, but listen, well, hopefully the person contacts me. If it doesn't work out and I don't know who they are, well then we'll give them away on the basically the do like a like and share or something competition. But listen, cheers again to Kevin from the Fela. PM you on Facebook, right? No problem. Good man yourself. That'll do. Cheers. Okay, right, there we go. So well done, Irish. You have won your 2 tickets for the Wolf Tones in the Falls Park on the 14th of August. So it's going to be actually going myself this year. So I got the next day off. I'm Irish too. I actually got the next day off work, so I did. So go looking forward to going this year. So we'll maybe get a few pints outside McAleny's this time, and we'll be going. So yep, really looking for, especially to see Gary's band, the full band live, which I haven't seen for a few years. Only like seen them on videos and stuff, so I can't wait for that there. Right, so we're going to play one song from the Wolf Tones. Hopefully this doesn't get us cut off, for God's sake. We are all Irish, we all win. Hopefully it doesn't get us cut off. So we're going to play another song. It was written by Liam Riley, called Flight of the Earls. Obviously this song here, it means so much that obviously people living in Australia and being England or America, whatever, Irish sort of people that have emigrated out. And as I spoke earlier on, folks, if you're go on to YouTube and check out the video that Sinn Féin released there for Mary Lou McDonald was in Australia the last couple of weeks, and she's done a talk to basically the Australia sort of Journalists Federation or whatever it was, and really, really good, honest interview, and very sort of statesperson, like the way a Taoiseach should be talking. Not like that's probably arsehole Martin will have now. But if you can go and check it out, it lasts about half an hour. So if you have spare half an hour, go and check it out. Just go into the Sinn Féin main page on YouTube and have a wee listen. It's a very, very good interview. So here we go. This is the Wolf Tones with the Flight of the Earls, folks, on Rebel Sundays.
I can hear the bells of Dublin in this lonely waiting room, and the paper boys are singing in the rain. Not too long before they take us to the airport and the noise to get on board a transatlantic plane. We've got nothing left to stay for, we have no more left to say, and there isn't any work for us to do. So farewell, you boys and girls, another bloody flight of ours. Our best asset is our best export too. It's not war or fear or famine that makes us leave this time. We're not going to join McAlpine's Fusiliers. We've got brains and we've got vision, we've got education too, but we just can't throw away these precious years. So we walk the streets of London and the streets of Baltimore, and we meet at night in several Boston bars. We're the leaders of the future, but we're far away from home, and we dream of you beneath the Irish stars. As we look on Ellis Island and the lady in the bay, and Manhattan turns to face another Sunday, We just wonder what you're doing for to bring us all back home as we look forward to another Monday. Because it's not the work that scares us, we don't mind an honest job, and we know things will get better once again. So 1,000 times adieu. We've got Bono and you too, and all we're missing is the Guinness and the rain. So switch off your new computers, 'cause the writing's on the wall. We're leaving as our fathers did before. Take a look at Dublin Airport, or the boat that leaves North Wall. There'll be no youth unemployment anymore, because we're over here in Queensland and in parts of New South Wales. We're on the seas and airways and the trains. And if we see better days, those big airplanes go both ways, and we'll all be coming home to you again.
Yeah, it's so the Wolf Tones of you folks with Flight of the Earls, another great song by Liam Rayleigh. So well done. And folks, just seen the guy sent me a PM. So his name is Neely McDonald. So the guy that won the tickets, who was Irish on YouTube, there is Neely McDonald. So well done to Neely. He's going to come meet me at the Mecca and East to get his tickets. So Ronan, come over. Obviously, folks, we're saying about our Ronan. It's tucked down there, so you can see it on the camera. It's his birthday today. So as I didn't know, so he's actually up my miles here with a child to pick his card up. So he is. So you danced on you last night, were you?
Hanging. I mean, we done the Triple Crown Club last night, so reliving our youth.
Here, listen, see what you'll be the one to inform me here. Come on down here, but right. Tuesday is Kieran Doherty's anniversary. Tell us a wee bit about the cycle that happens. Where's it going to? What's one on the big?
So the cycle came yesterday morning from Comeda Drive right down to Ballyconnell to in County Cavan, in the Kieran's Monument, where our reef was led by a lot of the Kieran Doherty Cycle Club. And as part of that there, they then made their way back up, to be in time for the anniversary. So this is a thing that happens every year, and there's people just joining over and over the cycle, especially the Doherty family, big cyclists. They've now next generation coming in. Terry, who's Kieran's brother, his daughters are now getting involved in the cycle as well. So it's good to see that the Doherty family traditions carrying on there. So we're really glad, especially the monument's really looked after in County Cavan. And we're really thankful to people down there, the commemoration committee, who can look after it on a daily basis.
Right, so I think it's some of your so we are going to do Kieran's song now, folks. Obviously, it was recorded by the Irish Brigade on their album Roll of Honour. So, hold on a second, we're going to play it there now. Folks, yeah, we're going to have two more songs go here for you, and then we're going to be heading on because I have shit to do here. So, again, massive thanks to Derek Warfield for coming on the show today. It was a phenomenal interview. So, Ronan, you can scoot on down the stairs. Right, so happy birthday, by the way. Happy 39th birthday. I'm sorry for that not knowing, but that's just my... Sorry. My mother should have told us all in the family group chat. Ro need to put him near the mix. Sorry, he was bending down there, so basically he was just explaining there about the cycle that they do for Kieran Doherty's anniversary. So it is. So what? Yes, I'll actually give it out here. So I'm putting it here now. Comments this Tuesday, the 2nd of August, is Kieran Doherty's anniversary. There will be a short reef laying at the Hunger Strike Stone at Iceland car park, followed by a white line vigil. We're asking people to assemble and be there around 4:45 p.m. Remember our Patriot Day. So here we go. Right, we're going to play Kieran's song now, folks, for you. This is Kieran's song, from the Irish Brigade. And this make it is cut off, and they're from their album Rule of Honour for Kieran Doherty, whose anniversary occurs this coming Tuesday.
He was born in Belfast in Anderson's time, brought up without fear or respect for the crime. His heroes were rebels with their lives many paid, and soon he was part of the Belfast Brigade. God keep you, Kieran, we pray every night, and bless all the young men who keep on the fight. When England is bonny, united with me, your name we'll remember when Ireland is free. The pre-state elections, the people's first choice, our cold-hearted Thatcher would not heed their voice. Those lackeys in Dublin, they are forever shamed. By letting her kill you, they too share the blame. God keep you, Kieran, we pray every night, and bless all the young men who keep on the fight. When England is bonny, united we'll be, your name we remember when Ireland is free. The hunger strike is over, but the struggle goes on. To join Ireland's martyrs, 10 brave men have gone. Ah, but don't be disheartened, don't weep for their loss. They'd rather go dead than accept England's loss. God keep you, Kieran, we pray every night, and bless all those young men who keep on your fight. When England is bonny, united we'll be, your name we remember when Ireland is free.
There you go, folks. That's the sound of Kieran's song there from the Irish Brigade. Greatly, again, written by Jerry Glacken. So that was from their album Rule of Honour. So, yeah, this Tuesday, folks, is Kieran Doherty's on the 41st anniversary. Let's see, Anthony Murphy says, Ro, cheers, Ro, brilliant interview and a fantastic show. Thank you as always. Good luck. Stay safe, my friend. Cheers, mate. Just 1 second. Put this back on before we get up the last couple of tunes. Right, back to the comments. Where are we? Justin McGuy says, where are you? Roman, tell him you want the 20 and 1. So it's not Roman, it's Ronan. And listen, see, we've just been removed there from Facebook, and that's the fascism once again from Mark Zuckerberg. It annoys me so much. Just, there we go. Like, buddy, just been removed from Facebook for that song there. It just pisses me off. Like, it's just, the Irish Brigade, they've been treated so badly by this corporation. It's an absolute disgrace, so it is. See, you just hold on a second, you mentioned there, where is he? Joseph says, happy birthday to the sensible one. Obviously, you don't know our Ronan, or Roman, as you call him. It's Ronan. Well, you might say I'm the sensible one, I don't know. But, so, folks, the team news has just been announced there, so it has for the match today. So, bar, I'd say Carl Starfelt is probably going to be this is going to be Ange's sort of best team. So as I would think. So here's the team for the day. Joe Hart nets, Juranovic at right back, Welch, Carter Vickers centre back, Taylor left back, McGregor, Hatate, O'Reilly, and Yota in midfield, and then Maeda and Kyogo up front. Daisa Maeda is just going to terrorise people this year. Seriously, that guy just does not stop, so he doesn't. Right, so folks, yeah, we're going to play one more song and then we'll finish up with Around the Vein. So, okay. So, as it is, anybody that asked for songs that I didn't play them, I'm very, very sorry, folks. And don't forget now, there's no show next week. So, there's no show next Sunday. The next show is going to be on Sunday the 14th, and we're going to be live from McInerney's, folks, from for the pre-Wolf Tones build-up. So, this is your last song of the day to get you all built up for the match. And this is Kevin Miles with Celtic, My Heart, My Soul, and especially for Derek's wingman Joe on his birthday days, folks. So again, thank you very much. We're going to play this here one, and then we're going to finish up with Around the Vein. So cheers to you all for tuning in today. Cheers for give a wee donation as well. Thank you very much. And as always, the main man, Derek Warfield, thank you, mate. You're an absolute legend. Here we go.
Oh, Celtic, 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 my heart and my soul. I followed the teams of the past and watched history unfold. Going to Parkhead with my dad and my brother. It's true what they say, we're a club like no other. The colours that flow through my veins are all green, white and gold. The sun, it shines down as we're walking along London Road. The Green Brigade burst into song and the jungle explodes. So what does it mean to be Celtic, and how does it feel to pull on the hoops and be fearless like Billy McNeil? Oh, Celtic, 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 my heart and my soul. I followed the teams of the past and watched history unfold. Going to Parkhead with my dad and my brother. It's true what they say, we're a club like no other. The colours that flow through my veins are all green, white and gold. They came in their thousands to Lisbon, and Jock had a plan. He understood football was nothing without the fans. We went to go down before Gemmell and Chalmers would save us. Our jerseys don't fit second best or inferior players. Oh, Celtic, 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 my heart and my soul. I followed the teams of the past and watched history unfold. Going to Parkhead with my dad and my brother. It's true what they say, we're a club like no other. The colours that flow through my veins are all green, white and gold. Oh, Celtic, 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 my heart and my soul. I followed the teams of the past and watched history unfold. Going to Parkhead with my dad and my brother. It's true what they say, we're a club like no other. The colours that flow through my veins are all green, white and gold.
Yeah, so the Kevin Miles there, folks. So it was Celtic, My Heart, My Soul. So the flag should be getting unveiled right about now, or if it hasn't already done. So folks, that is us. I say there's no show next week. I say of our kids' street party, and I have to be there. So it's the first time we're doing it. So that's why I won't be there next week. The following week, we're live from McInerney's. The following week, we're live from the Derry City Sports and Social Club. And then the following week, we're back in the studio for the end of the month. And just on that day, folks, if any remember Shay Doolan, who I had on the show a couple of weeks ago, I'm bringing Shay over for a couple of gigs that weekend. So he's going to be in the Rock Bar on the 28th, Sunday the 28th of August. And he's going to be in the Lurgan Celtic Supporters Club that day after the match is finished, before he goes to the Rock Bar. So if anything's about Lurgan or Falls Road on the 28th, you can check out Shay Doolan. It'd be great to see him. So it was, right, folks, that's us. We're going to wrap it up with Around the Vein as usual. Thank you very much to you all. It's been an absolute pleasure I want to go and watch the match tonight, so here we go. Here's around the vein, folks from Rogue. Cheers, all the lovely comments today, and well done to the winners. And I'll see you hopefully on the screen back on the 14th outside McElhenney. So that's us, folks. Thank you very much. Where's this flag? Here we go.
Känna fina far att safi allegare winds are slow har tjäntar lannekum Bei fast besär Shantir Shun Sher Pasta Niakpar Pantiran Noppental Andot Ayin Sabar Noel De Gannerkel On Bosno Sel De Ganner's grave Ni Labot Nabile Charlotte Canning Aram Avin. Thanks very much. Good night. God bless you.
You've been listening to Rebel Podcast of Rory Carton. To listen to this and past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We're also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel Podcast. Bhí sé bhgéisteach an sin leis an fád cruúlaí Rebel le Rory McCarson. Le héisteach le seo agus hir hagran a ríis, agus na hagran atá le teach, caisúil ar siú ethical sugin ar SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil ar gach ceiniúil ardan ar na main thuisiúta. Ní mór dit ach fád cruúlaí Rebel a curda.